Reverb Experiment episode number 17.
We're back, baby.
17.
You should have checked that.
I had to check it. Almost forgot.
Is it 17?
17.
Yes.
17.
Bro,
God,
I'm not.
man.
Don't it feel like we were just here yesterday?
Yeah, it does feel like that.
God.
Season 2.
I see you guys all
season 2.
Just for the blackout for the new
season
year.
2.
Oh, you feel me?
Season 2.
First episode of 2021. I got to get used to writing 2021 on all my documents and typing
Facts.
and all
I
that.
had my secretary do that.
All right.
Oh, man. So you guys already know what it is. Happy New Year's for those that are listening and viewing. We appreciate you guys checking in with us. You already know who it is. G_Focus on the mic.
Focus.
We got the queen, Steph.net to my left.
What's good?
We got Rajeo the king to her left.
Rajeo.
And then we got the king photo B to his left.
Your baby daddy hate me, but it's okay.
And we also
Yo,
got the
with
homeboy
great
D-Lo up in the building as well.
Coach,
always showing his
Push
support. We always
poppin'.
appreciate him.
That's the realest nigga alive. Look at him. He took his socks off. He got his
Period.
shoes off. He is comfortable.
Hey, bro, give him like 30 minutes. Gonna be laying on his stomach with his feet up,
With his
on his
feet
phone.
up, kicking his legs. Like he found his new crush online.
And they've been talking for like past 20
Does she
minutes.
love me? Does she love me not?
This conversation is fire.
For all those
Casanova ass nigga.
for all those husbands, for all those men that aspire to be husbands, go listen to episode 6 for better or for worse. D-Lo be here every other Saturday, stays the whole time, doesn't complain, and he supports his wife.
Nah,
So
he
we gotta
do
give
complain
him-
at
we
the
got-
end.
We got to
He
give him.
do
we gotta
complain
give
at
him
the end.
some
He'd be like, we got to go pick up the dog. look, our dog babysitter, our dog sitter, we gonna get charged
Man.
extra. Okay, the $150.
See, that's why I ain't got no kids, because people won't even watch a damn dog for you, bruh.
And the
They
dog
for sure
can
ain't
just
gonna
be
watch
outside
no
in
human.
the backyard.
Bruh, scandalous.
Why is she stressing me about an animal you don't got to look after?
And for those that are listening, we will take dog sponsorship because they do pay. People be making money off their dog.
They do. I made him he got an Instagram. Quit playing.
Shout out to Petco and
Yep.
Pet Smart.
PetSmart.
All that.
hey.
Pets for less.
I'm weak.
All right, so we got a very good show for y'all today. First, I want to put out some rest in pieces. Man, like seemed like right at the end of 2020, man, we just like took some hits. We lost John Ecstasy Fletcher. He was a part of the group Houdini. We also lost Adolfo Quinez. He was Shabba-Doo, the star in the movie Breakin'. We also lost Andre Hill. He was a victim of police brutality shooting in Ohio. It seems like that this ugly
Bro,
head
it's
of police
crazy.
brutality keeps coming back around.
Crazy.
And we also lost MF Doom
Oh, yeah.
in October, and we're just now finding out about it. So,
On Halloween.
was it on Halloween?
October 31st.
Yeah, see, so we want to give our condolences to all those families, all those people, fans of all those artists, and then obviously we're going to keep a close eye on the Andre Hill situation. I know the cop turned off his body cam, and it's not a good situation at all. So
No.
we're still waiting on George Floyd, still waiting on Breonna Taylor, still waiting on Ahmaud Arbery. So just keeps on stacking up, and obviously. Here, because we talk about Black culture, we do have to mention it. We do want to talk about it. Honestly, I'm like mentally drained and emotionally drained from talking about it, but that does not compare to the people that are actually dealing with it or are close to it. So we want to be sensitive to those people that are affected by it. And obviously we are affected by it. That's why you guys hear the silence, because I think we all are exhausted.
What else can we say about it? What more is there we can say? Like, it's
Tyrese's
just
voice. What more do you want from me?
facts. It's like, it's just going to be repetitive of why is this happening?
Yeah.
What can we do to change it? We know it's going to happen again.
We got to get rid of qualified immunity. That's what it is. I don't know how to go about it. Somebody else is listening to it, might have a reach to get that started.
Bro,
I have no idea how to even.
It's so bad, bro. Like, I think the cover up of like having celebrities like vouch for certain things, and like pro basketball players, like racism, this and I mean that is just. I feel like that is just to appease us, right? That's supposed to be the barrier between like what they can do and what they're willing to do. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they keep throwing us a bone, and we're supposed to just be satisfied with that. You know what I mean? And qualified immunity, and I don't even know if most people know what that is, right?
We talked about it a little bit on episode 2 and on when Kyle Rittenhouse, when that whole incident happened. I forgot what episode that was. But yeah, I think we can maybe talk more in depth about it. I think I want to be more focused on the solutions, how we can get it moving, because I'm tired of talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of marching, tired of protesting. Needs to be some actual action behind it. So, but yeah, so we will definitely cover that in season 2. Today, we are going to discuss if the Black Eyed Peas are a black group.
They have the word black in their
That's
name.
what I was thinking. That's it. That's it.
But they're also named after a
And
vegetable.
actually, perfect timing to talk about them in the beginning of the year. Black Eyed Peas.
Black Eyed Peas, yeah.
You know you're supposed to make Black Eyed Peas.
Supposed to.
Supposed to.
First
Yeah.
thing.
Sounds like we didn't.
I didn't.
And if you don't put sugar in them, you losing.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
You should have
people
just let that
put
comment to
sugar
yourself.
Are you the person that
Everything.
puts sugar on your grits? You
Nah.
put sugar on your grits?
Yeah.
No.
Yo,
Butter and sugar. Butter and salt's cool too. I like savory grits too.
Salt and pepper.
Yo.
Period.
I had somebody make some grits with some sugar, salt, and cheese.
What?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Yes.
Pro-
Amazing.
Was it cheddar?
Was this?
No, I don't remember. But
It was
it
probably
after a
American. It was.
nightcap?
no.
It was with
Because
the.
that changes how it tastes.
No. This is
It was with his Taco Bell.
No.
McDonald's and Taco Bell be fire when you drunk. But when you sober.
It was right after Jack in the Box.
The contrast. Nah, it was fire. We had when I was in Miami. Old girl had a.
Oh, that's
chef.
Southern. That's why.
No. He came from out here.
Oh,
It was a chef. He made that shit. Chef Tom.
who?
Fire.
Okay.
Chef Tom.
Why does he get a sponsorship? Why what?
Shout out to Chef Tom.
Facts.
Shout out Chef Tom.
Hey, we'll be looking for a check.
Hey, we're going to send an invoice.
Talk about
We're also going to discuss if the Drake era is over. And we're also going to discuss if black families are under attack.
Oh my goodness.
The question is, when aren't they under attack?
We're going to talk about it.
Okay.
But before we get to our internet wins again, we definitely want to thank everybody listening via Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, any other streaming platform. If you do leave a 5-star review and a comment on Apple Podcasts, we will read it on the air. And we are looking for new guests. So if you did want to be featured on one of the episodes of the Reverb Experiment Podcast, just send us an email to the reverbexperiment@gmail.com with the picture and a bio. And what you can bring to
right,
and what you can bring to the
exactly.
podcast.
That's why I laughed.
Yeah.
I don't want to just hang out with y'all.
No.
You better talk.
And we're very picky. All the people that we've had on the podcast,
Have
people
been
that we've
fire.
actually selected. So,
We vetted.
yes.
So
Yes.
mhm.
So yeah. So before we get to the internet wins again topics, which you want to stay and listen to, that will happen a little bit later. We have a couple topics that we wanted to talk about before then. So Rajeo wanted to bring this topic to the pod.
What's that?
You know what it is. So he asked, should people propose on holidays? And the reason why we're asking that question is because obviously on
Boy.
New Year's, there was a bunch of proposals.
Boy, how
Two of which were Neo and Crystal Smith,
right?
which they were married. They divorced in February, and obviously they're back together.
To Neo's defense, that's fire. It's just because he made that work. I
Yes.
think it takes a special situation. So he gets a pass in my mind.
No, he don't get it past.
No. But everyone else, I just like how unoriginal. How unoriginal.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Let's go through it, and then also Rotimi and Vanessa. He had proposed to her as well.
Rotimi is okay.
All right. So, and then can I say this before we get into the conversation?
Congratulations.
Well,
still.
first of all, hey, congratulations for love. I will
Yeah.
always,
Thank you.
Love
I will
wins.
always,
Love
but
wins.
I was a
Because
little
Rajeo
disappointed.
sounded like a hater.
Nah, I'm not hating. I'm just saying I am proud. First off, when I did address this, it did go crazy. And then second of all, I did say congratulations first.
Yes.
I did say
You
congratulations.
did.
So I'm not hating on the fact, but I'm just like,
Can I hold on?
Okay, fine.
Before we get into the conversation, can I admit something to y'all? I was a little disappointed that Neo and Crystal got back together.
after he
Why?
wrote that fire ass song.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot about that song.
was fire. And just whenever people break up, it brings the best music. I was looking for a breakup album. Usher Confessions is probably one of the best R&B albums of all time.
Facts.
So I was expecting something from Neo, and then they got back together before he dropped out.
And then this nigga was singing national anthems.
I mean,
hey, that Pinky Ring song was fire.
Pinky Ring was fire.
Oh my god.
He's like, look, he probably proposed with the same ring. It was on the pinky.
It was an upgrade.
The pinky.
Whoa, hold on. What? You say you couldn't have got back to it?
no, you done made a whole song embarrass me.
Oh.
Like,
Well, and she found out about the actual divorce through the news.
Through the internet. Through the internet.
Yeah.
I couldn't have did it.
It takes a special. That's what I said though. It takes it is so hard to let all that shit go and then be like, yeah, we're gonna get engaged again
In the public eye.
in the public eye. But let me ask you this: do you feel like she was pressured to say yes because of everything that went down?
I'm sure that they've reconciled before he proposed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
I guarantee. Nobody's gonna come back. You don't come back from that
No.
and just be like pop up and propose. Like that's too risky.
Well, and you know what? And he didn't have to re-propose.
No.
So I think it was just a good gesture. So hey, shout out to Love, man. We always on the side of Love, but I was looking for a good album. So
This nigga's fucked
Selfish.
up.
Right. Selfish.
I am
People
selfish. I said,
life.
let me admit it. I'm being vulnerable. Can I be vulnerable?
This is
All right.
It doesn't make you any less
It
fucked
doesn't
up.
make no, it doesn't. But I'm just being vulnerable.
This nigga's like, you know what? I
I'm
like,
so done.
bro. I'm working on.
Well,
another-
can we get a retroactive album? Can you get married and then go back to how you felt during the divorce?
But the music can still be good. You just
bro,
assuming.
this is how I write. I
Oh, or that might be a fire eye when he
This-
goes from the feelings of the divorce to coming back together. Hey, you can get a double disc. To
True.
break up and
he's not gonna give it to us because the way he treated her in public the first time, she leaving. You let him write an album about how he made her feel.
Come on now.
She gone. Look, Steph not ready to go right now.
Right.
Remember when Chris Brown made that song and he said, Karuchi, that shit, nobody wants to be put on blast with
Bro.
their business.
Nah.
Bro,
Like,
It's
that's scandalous.
I'm selfish. I'm sorry.
what is Karuchi doing since the Chris Brown shout out?
She got with Victor Cruz, didn't she?
Oh yeah, she is with Victor Cruz.
Yeah.
She's still winning.
And she's quiet.
She's
that
winning.
means you're happy.
Well,
Exactly.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, she's
usually,
that means
Yeah.
that means
Usually.
that
Let's
means
not assume.
that means she's learned more than anything.
Yeah,
that means
that's true.
You learn. You learn.
shout
how
out
to
for
keep it-
maturity, man.
Facts. Facts. People be trying to talk to me and Photo B talking about put us on your page.
I don't really want to. Like,
Wait, hold
I
on.
think about it.
Just because we hang out and we date and you know what I'm saying doesn't mean you can make it to the page.
You know what? I haven't had that issue, actually.
That's because they know by now.
Well, sometimes, honestly, women don't want to be put on your page because they don't really necessarily want to be associated with you if they know that you're like out there like that.
You see the direct eye contact that she just gave me?
God damn.
Like, that was.
Well, because you're the one who said I don't have that problem, but usually it
Right.
is.
How did we get here?
I feel like it's
No,
just, I feel like
let
it's just sad.
Steph.net talk.
It's the truth, bro, because people gonna be like, dang, she talked to him. He talked to hella people.
Oh, is that what?
I mean, I ain't talking about you
I don't think-
specifically.
that's
But I'm
probably
saying
not it.
sometimes it be the same thing.
We don't have a conversation.
Why is getting put on the page such a big deal?
Man, because one
Make it established. You're not hiding it. Everybody sees it.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is.
Isn't it better? Well, I'm sorry.
It depends.
Everybody, you
It
know
really
what?
depends. Everybody
It
has their
works.
own thing.
It works different for different people. So
Right.
I'm not going to
Hey,
sit
let
up
me ask you
here
something.
because I already got
Let me-
killed
let me-
for
let me-
making some comments.
No,
earlier
let's
this
go
week.
ahead. Let's have
What
this
I'm going to
conversation.
say is
We got time. Let's have this
usually
conversation.
It's better
To
to,
not be
me
on- to not
when
be-
it's in private.
Facts. Well,
But
It's the
Everything
difference
works
between
every-
private and a secret.
that's true.
because
That's true.
so
true.
so here's me. We move around, family, the friends. You know what I'm saying? But you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna be on my page, especially because what I do for music and all that other stuff. So it's just not gonna happen.
Does that create insecurities?
I'm pretty sure it does.
I mean, me, when I'm like, next time I'm in a relationship, like, I might not post her on my actual timeline, but we for sure gonna be on the story.
Damn.
No, for sure gonna be on the story. No, because, like, here's the thing, though. Like, most of my time.
you ain't fucking my feet up.
No, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. If you go to, like, check
This
this out.
is aesthetic.
Check this out. When you go to my page, how often do you even see me on my
Yeah, that's
actual
true.
page?
We just started seeing you
'Cause that's
since,
different. That's
Right,
a
we
we
business.
just started seeing this nigga since he
It's a
started
business page.
since
That's a
the
business
pod
page.
since the pod made him rich.
It's a business
Okay,
page.
now he's on that shit all the time. Like, look at this.
It's a business page.
You
I
know
think
what I'm
I think that does make a little
Niggas
bit
is
difference.
getting sponsorships.
I'm
bro.
still weak. I'm still weak.
But I do agree because we did have this. I think we had this conversation where we said like when you go out on a date and you see later that the other person only just posts the plate but don't post you?
Yeah, but that's trash. That's trash. Like I would, it's trash.
Well, but then you just said that you don't want to post her on your page.
No, but I don't. But I'm not posting dinner plates and shit.
It
like
depends
that.
on the relationship.
I'm not doing that.
It depends on the relationship. If me and you just talking,
people
you can
should know
post the
that you're in a
food. I'm not
relationship,
tripping.
though.
Well, I
Right,
think
if
what
you're in a
Steph is saying, if you're in a relationship,
if you're in a relationship and you just only posting the food,
then you're trash.
I better be up there somewhere too.
You're trash. You're
Like
trash.
if you posting more of the food, more of the places that we've gone versus nobody seeing me.
Because
How can you feel away when you literally saying you're not gonna be on my page?
I say may not be on my actual page.
She's killing this nigga right now, bro.
May not be my actual page.
Fight
But here's the thing, though.
Battle rap.
Here's the
Fight
thing,
back, nigga.
I
Fight back.
Here's the thing.
Really,
I
nigga?
know more people see my actual story than my timeline.
No. That's not true. More people respond to your story because they can do it in private. Then they see it on your timeline, but they don't want to be seeing you.
And like I said, sometimes women don't want to be seen either.
Bro, because I'll tell you
Like
what.
y'all might think y'all
Nah,
hiding
I'll tell
somebody.
you- I'll
Sometimes they
tell
don't
you
want to
what.
be
I
seen
mean,
either.
it is true, but
No, 'cause
sometimes
I'll tell you
comments
what,
do
'cause-
pop up on the,
I'll-
on the timeline. They be like, hey. I'm like,
Well,
okay,
no,
no,
that's the girls
let it
that
be
don't
known.
care. That's the girls
Right.
that don't. That's
Let
the
it
girls
be
that don't
known.
care. But even for myself, I'm pretty sure all of us stories are way more lit than our actual page, right? Because it provides a security blanket so people can't see what you're doing, right? I post pictures, bro. I just now started cracking like 75, 100, like regularly, right? My stories 1,100, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like
Views?
1,100 views, bro.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
1,100 views, 1,200 views. I had 3,500 on the Nate Robinson challenge, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, I know people are seeing us. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
Right.
I'm just like you, though,
You should. People should know
That you're in a relationship.
that you're in a relationship.
Right. If you're in a relationship,
I feel like
That's-
a lot of people like position their page where if I didn't know you and know that you was in a relationship,
know.
I would never know. And I don't feel like that's right.
It's not.
Like I just told these niggas, I said, we're just going to get married and see you niggas at the reception.
I'm so done.
See you niggas
Well, I
at the
think people gotta, I think it all comes down to the reason why.
pretty much.
If the why is so that way you can still move the way you want to move.
Nah, that's,
then
yeah.
that's trash.
Or some people don't want to lose their hoes just in case.
Yes.
Man,
just
I'm
in
It
case.
don't work out.
You know what's crazy?
You won't
hoes,
lose a hoes.
hoes.
They'll
You're
never
not gonna
go.
lose your
You're not
hoes.
gonna lose
Number
hoes.
one, you're never gonna lose your
You're
hoes.
never gonna lose your hoes.
Second of all, hoes are so expensive. It's not
I'll
worth
dis-
having any.
I'll disagree with that. I disagree.
You
with
lose your hoes if you get
If you
married.
lose your hoe, she ain't
He
your hoe
said
no
you
more.
lose
Then
your
a
hoe.
lot of
Sometimes
times,
that don't even happen.
What? When you lose,
When
when you
you
get
get
married?
married, yeah.
No, nigga, that should be the first thing that happens.
Some of them, if they see you in a relationship, they
They
get
get more
salty
comfortable?
as hell.
they just
Yeah,
get
that's
benched.
fine. He said
Oh,
they
I see you and your
benched.
little girlfriend. Y'all cute.
Yeah, it's not you. You're not my girlfriend. You can go on.
Be like,
But
thank
what
you.
I'm saying is though,
cute, thank
some of the and we're gonna have a real conversation.
I like
That happens because a lot of niggas treat their hoes like they the girlfriend.
Uh-oh.
And then when they do get a girlfriend, then the hoes is mad because they thought they had a chance of
I'm
being a
niggas.
girlfriend.
I'm
And that
niggas.
work, but that works both ways.
I'm
It does.
niggas.
Because niggas be in their feelings too.
Well,
It does.
I don't really have
Come
the
on
feelings
now.
like that.
Niggas be in their feelings.
I'm niggas. I do like if I'm active, like if I'm when I was active like that and I wasn't dating seriously and shit, right? Then yeah, I would just treat every chick the same, and then I would have a whole lineup of crazy chicks
because you treated them all the
because
same.
I treated them all well, right?
Yes.
So that's that I was niggas, right? And then when I got in a
I was
relationship, when you get in a relationship, when I got in a relationship, then you're right. They were like, well, you chose up, right? But yeah, that's why I was dating on y'all, so I can make the best choice.
That's true.
So were they hoes or were they women?
They
you were
weren't
dating?
hoes. I never dated. I never really. As far as the category of what hoes are, I don't think I've ever had hoes like that. I never had like a chick that was.
They were
for the
women you
streets.
were dating.
Yeah, they're all like established women. They've got
got you.
careers and that kind of stuff, right?
got you.
Well, I mean, hoes.
But that doesn't mean I've never
but
been a
saying
dirtbag.
The hoes does not necessarily mean that they're
They're hoes,
actually
yeah.
hoes. That
Yeah,
just
that's just it's a stable, as Ty Dolla $ign would call it. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Jerome,
figurative.
what's his name? Jerome Jones. Those are all girlfriends.
I won't put words in his mouth.
I'm helping him.
I don't think you need to help him.
I think he got this.
I think he said it, but
got himself.
That's why I said
you know, and I think people I think that needs to be normalized. I think that when you are dating, you should date multiple people until you find the one that you really want to invest in time with.
people don't want you to date multiple people. They don't.
I think
want
as long as you're being honest and upfront about it, I think it's okay.
Even if you're being honest, bro.
Well, no,
Even
but
if
if
you're
I'm
being
honest, then you have
The right
then
to
it's
leave.
the right to either
No,
want
absolutely.
to.
But this is the thing. We need to normalize people's feelings being hurt.
True.
I feel like that's something that is kind of like, I chose somebody else and it is what it is, and you should just not give a fuck.
No,
Like,
no. We're not saying that. We know
normalize people feeling a
We're not-
way that,
that's
a
true.
relationship didn't work the fuck
Time
out.
invested, emotions
know what I mean?
invested.
Hey,
Like,
you
come
already
on
hurt.
now.
I normalize feelings getting hurt, but that's part of the dating game, bro.
It
Like when
is.
you're out here and you're dating, that is part of the game.
But I think a lot of times people aren't upfront about it, and then they get hurt because they get blindsided. Again, a lot of times when people find out that they're in a relationship, it's a Facebook status that says such and such is in a relationship with such and
oh,
such.
that's so.
And then
corny.
it's like this, whoa, so what happened?
We was just talking.
Yeah.
I actually smashed you yesterday, and now you got a nigga.
And that's where the feelings and that's where people are bitter.
Like,
and
have
Just
you-
in my
you have
DMs
to
talking
feel-
about when you want to link up.
And for a lot of women, it's triggering, even if it may not be the same situation. But like when you talking to somebody, and then all of a sudden they got the baby shower shirt on, and they had a whole ass baby
Oh, bro,
shower.
that's
You like,
trash.
That's trash.
what?
That's
Like it be
trash.
so, it be so weird. Like, and then it's crazy because dudes will get into a relationship, and I mean they could get engaged, and you could comment and like it or whatever, and say congratulations. They'll hop in your DMs like it should have been you. Like what?
Oh, that's even more trash.
That's definitely
Like, so
trash.
it's like, when
That's definitely trash.
dealt with
So you openly admitting that you settled?
See, this is my problem
It
with
don't
niggas.
make no
This
sense.
is Steph. This is my problem with niggas. Niggas never want to live with the consequences of their actions. Niggas just want
I
to
would
be
never
out here,
understand.
bro. Why would you send the "it should have been you" message? So
Niggas
now
really
she can
be
now
doing that.
screenshot that shit and send it to your
my
girl.
God. That's
Well,
why
he
niggas
said
be on
it should have been
Snapchat.
me.
That's why niggas be on Snapchat.
Well, Instagram, you can unsend messages
You can
now
definitely
too.
unsend messages.
Oh,
You
for
can
sure.
actually unsend messages in Facebook.
Facebook
Messenger,
tell
too.
on you though. You
can
unsend a message. Facebook will be like, so unsent a
Oh,
message.
it'll tell you who did it.
No, they will tell you they unsent the message.
Oh,
Somebody-
Instagram just has somebody. It won't tell me who. It just be
Well,
like
if
somebody.
it's just you and them, I think we know who it is, right?
Well, I mean,
It's not just him
there's
and
there's
one girl.
There's a lot of DMs. Just a lot of there's
But
a
in
lot of
the-
DMs.
Okay, I was
involved.
thinking you said
To
in
go
the
back
actual
through it.
inbox.
Yeah, no.
I got
It won't.
you.
It won't.
But
It
yeah.
won't.
It won't tell you
like.
who.
Yeah, it won't
Okay.
tell you.
I don't have those kind of problems, folks.
Yeah, I never knew that.
So
No,
women,
I
women
have
be
a lot of
kind of, we be
conversations
kind of
with
like,
I-
it's triggering with the whole date multiple people because the way
Yeah.
it be ending, it just always be.
Yeah, I got you.
Niggas be hurt too.
Well, yeah. I
got
mean,
I
the
got you.
whole thing is though, like at least with me, like I'm communicative. You know what I mean? I communicate
That is
when
one
it comes.
thing. That is one thing I will say. I'll give that nigga.
Like,
he is
I'm-
very upfront.
Like I've let them know that it's like, hey, I'm not really looking for anything right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm enjoying what we're doing.
But if you want to smash,
Why
We're
you gotta
doing-
do him like this?
We're doing what we're doing. But if you find somebody that fits what it is that you want, that fits, more than what that's going towards a relationship. If you want to go towards a relationship, and you find someone who wants a relationship and has what you want, by all means, go for it.
Don't
thing-
let
I'm
me
not-
hold
I'm
you-
not-
Don't hold out thinking I'm gonna change my mind.
No, back, no, for real.
And then you
No,
mad
for real.
because you missed
but
out
that's the
on
truth.
something else.
But that's the truth though, because that's the same conversation that I've had, right? And that's why. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't feel bad, but I'm telling if I've given you like he does, right? If we've had this conversation and it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out.
But actions speak louder than words.
So you're
because
the-
niggas will say, I ain't looking for no relationship, and then be doing relationship shit.
Bro,
true.
it doesn't matter.
That's true.
My words did not change. And if I have
My
Am
words
I
did not
lying?
change.
Am I
Right.
lying?
my
Like-
words did not change.
Right.
I'm a man of my words.
My
So
words
you're
did
the
not
backup
change.
quarterback
Forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
until she finds a starter.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
or he makes them the starter. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but he said he's not looking for that.
Well, he might change. He might change his mind later.
Right.
Maybe.
But I'm saying like if I don't change my mind before then, you find somebody. It's happened. It has happened.
Steph
Where-
ain't have it.
This is a way of controlling his environment.
Steph ain't having it.
This is a way of controlling his environment.
right? I let they can do what they want to do.
But I
They
get
want
what
to know how
Steph.
they want to move.
But I get what Steph is saying.
I understand what Steph is saying too.
Because niggas be buying flowers, be doing the rose petal shit,
Me.
be writing
Spending
love
time
letters
every
and the whole
goddamn
shit.
day.
I'm nigga.
And then
I
and
used
then-
to be nigga.
And
And
then,
I buy
and then when
thoughtful
it's like,
ass
oh
gifts.
well, you know,
That-
I
we've
do
been
dope
doing
shit.
everything in a relationship, but it's not a relationship, and it's like,
Yo,
it is.
I
I'm just-
told you.
it's confusing. It is confusing.
I'm gonna tell
And then you sitting up here complaining
I'm gonna-
that you be having to deal with bullshit. from these women. But you pretty much set the tone for yourself of what was going to end up happening.
I mean, I haven't had to deal with any bullshit recently.
Recently.
Really,
No,
nigga?
for real, 'cause, I think the last time I had to deal with bullshit was probably like closer to the beginning of the year before lockdown happened and shit, or around the time lockdown happened. But
I haven't had to do it.
But that was because
quite a
of-
long time, and I appreciate that.
that was because of her though. She was thrived off of bullshit, so that was different. But I
gotta know your
still,
personnel.
right? I still let her know what's up. I wasn't even expecting anything out of her at all. What happened between us was
You
a
you was expecting to smash.
nah.
But did you say?
I did, but I wasn't expecting to. I really wasn't expecting.
How
Niggas
many-
don't be having no expectations, but they smashing though.
Hey, but
We gonna have that time.
But look.
Here's the thing. Look.
We talk about this a lot in the pod, right? In the group, right? So if you go into a relationship, if you get into a situation and your most important thing to you is your time and your body, and then that conversation comes up, you have the right to be like, I'm out of here, right? So it is a two-party fault, right? It's not just, you're right about the feelings, because
Do it moving. I mean, I would.
no, but
Those are like,
See,
those
hey,
are like
hey
like,
Tyson.
fuckboy buzzwords.
Hey,
like
hey,
you
Tyson.
should know the fuckboy
Hey,
buzzwords
Tyson,
and do it moving.
did I not just say I don't want to hear shit from Steph.net about how she would do shit?
So what?
Did I just
I
not
still
say
get
that?
to say what I would do.
Do you see how her mind works? It's brilliant. And then, but so she's out here brilliant as fuck, right? And she's like, this is how I would do it. And then this nigga's like, I gotta stay. It's a difference. It's a difference.
No.
It's a difference.
I think Steph's speaking generally.
This is why.
Thank you.
No,
In general.
No,
In general.
Steph is speaking for general, but she's really talking about herself.
No,
I'm
Look-
talking about this. Is my opinion.
because you heard her that she said all the relationship advice and stuff come to her in a group chat and all the other
And
shit.
she'd
So
be like,
I mean,
just get married.
What?
Don't take none of that shit unless that nigga says he's ready.
I don't know.
I'm just saying this needs to be said that these are those are the type of things that women need to be looking for.
Mhm.
When dudes say that I ain't looking for nothing, but they willing to have sex, they looking for something. They looking for a situationship where they could benefit without having to really give too much.
Yes, and yes. I'm trying to find my words here.
No.
G Jackson is in the building. When niggas say shit like so what we doing? We building. Building what? You need to ask building what?
Facts.
Because if it's a stable, then you need to run.
Because there's a lot of horses. There's a lot of horses in here.
If
a
it's
lot
a
of
team,
horses.
then you need to run.
It's a
Come
lot of
on.
horses.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You need to be more specific.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that
I know.
nobody's wrong.
And everything works for different people. Let me make sure that I say that.
Got this nigga
This is the
stressed.
thing. 'Cause there's
Nigga
others.
stressed.
I feel like there's
This nigga
other people that can be looking for that.
Yeah.
This nigga's breath. He said,
Well, there's a reason why Photo B said that he would be good at polygamy, right?
facts.
So that's what he's talking about. I get it.
No,
I get it. And there's something for everybody.
He did say that. I forgot you said that.
Yeah,
But
he-
but for
now he's photo P.
Photo B. But for those new listeners, and for
Photo
those
B with
people,
multiple P as an exponent.
Photo P to the second power.
So next topic.
Hey,
Hold on. For the
my
new
God.
listeners, when we give our opinion, we
Oh
are
my
speaking in a
God.
general sense. So please don't take what we say too personally.
You
We just
can
having
take what
fun,
I
man.
say.
Only I take it personally.
We just having fun, man.
Hey, I will say this though: living the life that when I used to live like that, because I think, remember, I was telling you, I only did that after I got divorced.
Yeah.
Right. So I was in a headspace where I'd been cheated on. No
Right.
excuses, but it made me a savage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had no regard
You
for
didn't care.
feelings.
Yeah.
No, I had no regard for feelings. So I would have that conversation. Yo, we can do whatever you want to do, but I'm
Right.
not going to be with you.
Right.
Ultimately.
Right.
Because I feel like that I think that's the mindset of like a person that's hurt, right? For most people that's damaged, right?
Right.
I'm just gonna do my thing. But you don't realize that you're leaving a trail of fucking bodies in the road.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what you're saying is absolutely correct. The proper thing is to really just go be by your fucking self and chill. until you get your
I
fucking
mean,
life
yeah.
together. But why do that when there's sex?
That's what I'm sitting there like, what am I supposed to
Why
do?
you gonna do that
Stay
when
my
people
ass
are just
home?
gonna? When people are just gonna?
Yes, it's a pandemic.
Yes. Yes.
I kind of set myself up.
Yeah.
I did.
Hey,
I
that
did.
nigga's been Nami needy, Yami all year.
You're killing me, man.
Well, you know what?
Clip that.
Edit.
We're gonna edit that one out. We're gonna edit that
No,
one out.
Oh,
no,
man.
we're gonna see this one on the nation in a second.
You already-
Steph already
Steph
marked
already. She's like, all right, cool. Yep.
it. Steph already marked
30
it.
minutes.
Yeah, first one out. Yep. Get the shares going.
Hey, but we do got to bring that topic back up and talk
sure.
about people using
Hey,
sex as therapy, man, because we're gonna talk about
I'm
that.
gonna tell you what.
Why she look at me when this happened?
Oh, my bad.
She said, "Ooh, nigga, you need therapy."
Hey, I'm niggas.
She was like,
Look,
I'm niggas. That's the title of the episode.
I'm niggas.
eye contact.
Cause look,
bro, I was
bro,
like, "Ooh, nigga, I
Because
know you need therapy."
That's real.
initially after all the shit I went through, I was like, I'm not fucking with nobody,
Right.
right? And then, I wasn't. But then my inbox started popping, and I was like, oh, there's a whole bunch of predators out here.
Right.
There's a predator seeking a predator.
Bruh, let's be real, because usually when that shit happens is when you were either in a long-term relationship or you were in a marriage or whatever, and when you break up, a lot of times that shit hits so hard that it starts fucking with your psyche a little bit, and you start like not valuing yourself, and you think that, man, like it was me, like it was something wrong with me. But then when you start getting attention, then it's like, well, damn, well, maybe it wasn't me.
Bro, that's not what happened to me.
And then, well, I'm not saying you. I'm talking in general.
All
When
right,
you
fine,
when you come
fine.
from a breakup, a lot of people are at a low self-esteem
Yeah,
point
yeah,
because
yeah,
they
yeah.
spent so much time and effort into that.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it was you.
Yeah.
So when you start getting people that are actually into you and giving you attention,
Yeah.
then it's kind of a way of building your self-esteem back up. So it's like, well, damn, let me see if I really got it. So then you start messing around with a bunch of people in that whole phase.
Why that laugh though?
Well, again, and if you can identify, you can identify. If you can't, you can't. But a lot of that whole phase comes into, I feel like, is rebuilding your self-esteem and rebuilding your self-confidence, because you're like, well, let me see what I can bag. And then you bag, you're like, damn, okay, I bagged her. Oh, let me go see if I can bag somebody else that's better. You know what I mean?
How hard is it to bag people?
When you're at a low point,
Hard.
Is it?
Yeah.
How hard is it for you to bag somebody?
Now?
Yeah.
Easier than it was.
It's not hard to bag nobody, bro. This shit is a free for all. Super gonorrhea is on the loose. Okay,
You don't mix those things.
They have
you
no.
don't
They
mix-
have no. Nobody has no discernment. They don't care, bro. Everybody's living in the moment. It is the easiest thing to fall into some sex.
but that's what I was saying, that people use sex as therapy. Instead of
Yeah, I
them
agree.
doing the internal work themselves,
I agree.
they use that as
I
validation
agree.
for their value.
That's because even with myself, I wasn't able to write the album that I wrote unless I went through the processes of healing. Right. So
Right.
I actually went to therapy because I was like, damn, I'm killing people. You know what I mean? And I think like watching people cry, you know, because of my decisions, I think there was a point where I had an encounter where there were two or more in the same room and they were having a conversation. And when they were both like, oh, I know this and I know this and I know this, because I did have those conversations. Right.
Right.
But it still didn't make me feel good, even though they both knew.
There was still
You know what I'm
emotions
saying? It's
involved.
still
It
because
hurt.
they
Yeah.
were hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I know that you're doing this.
Right.
But confronting it was a totally different animal.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
I've
saying?
never had the heart to hurt people's feelings.
You soft.
Like, just blatantly.
Oh, you're good. Well, nobody blatantly
Well, I don't
hurts
think he
anybody.
blatantly-
No,
I don't
I
think it
didn't.
was blatantly.
Didn't blatantly hurt anybody.
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of times when we do things, we know that it can be hurtful, regardless of if you're being honest about it or not.
That's true. But
So
the,
I'm like, I
the point
can't-
the point is to give somebody the decision to if you want to rock this, if you want to run this course or not, and that's where he's at right now.
But a lot of times we're not self-aware enough to do that, and I think
Mm-hmm.
we're selfish, and we don't want to tell people because we
Agreed.
think if we tell them that they're going to leave. So instead, we just keep it.
Word to these bachelors out here, bro. Just tell them they're gonna stay. They're not. They're
Some
not,
of them.
no, most of them are gonna stay.
Maybe most.
Most women. If you're
Most of the women, you
if-
know.
Well,
if you
but
you
we
gotta be
gotta-
comfortable.
but
No,
we
but
gotta
you
be fair on
you
both
have to be
sides.
fair.
Men too.
Yeah.
Women-
Men
women-
will stay too. Men will stay too.
I don't think so.
I think man, there's a lot of dudes out
They
here.
would stay.
And that's the thing. That's like we women
Dudes not staying?
cannot
They will stay.
date
I know
like
they will.
y'all could date.
I don't think so.
Like y'all could date multiple people
You've been out the game too long.
and it'd be
I
cool.
stay.
But for women,
No, I just know how niggas. I know how niggas' egos work.
they can't. Exactly. So it's like for us, we have to like date multiple people under wraps. Like I feel like guys can't really handle the fact if a woman is dating multiple people. They say they can, but they can't.
Honestly, it is kind of difficult, but it's one of those things where it's like you have to accept it. You
So
know
what?
I mean?
So let me ask you this. So what makes it difficult? I think that's probably a better question.
It's turned into a whole.
What makes it
episode. I love
difficult? What
I
makes
love
it difficult to
If you to be accepting of your woman or the woman that you're interested in dating other men.
because
nigga? Because he wants to do
Well,
what
no,
he
hold on,
wants
let
to
him
do.
answer.
No,
let him
he
answer.
has to be fair on both sides.
So honestly, what it is it's the same thing when it's like even like in a relationship and there's somebody who comes around and shit who might have something better than you, right? It's almost the same thing. You have something like a connection with this person and shit, and regardless of how you feel, whether you're looking for a relationship or not, if you lose that person to somebody else, you may start thinking, "Damn, this motherfucker might be better than me."
So it's insecurity.
Ego.
I never.
It's still ego.
I never played the game like that. Like for myself, that's how he feels. For myself, it was always about being fair. Like if I was gonna date somebody and tell them that you're not the only person I was dating, I'm strong enough and I'm built to handle shit like that, right? If I was dating a chick or if I was hanging out with a chick and she was dating other people, I don't give a shit.
If you knew about it.
If I knew about
But
it.
if you didn't know about it.
If I didn't know about it, I still, because of my experiences, I still prepared myself for her to be doing some stuff on the side.
Same.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because
It's
just
something
because
that
you
you
don't
gotta
know
accept.
about it doesn't mean
it's not happening.
Because
Right.
if you have not explicitly said that y'all exclusive, then whether you knew
You
about it
should
or not, you
assume-
still
you should assume that there's somebody else.
But then do you operate moving forward the same way?
You do.
Yeah.
You do if you're trying to.
I think that's a lot. I generally,
Generally.
I think if a man found out that a woman was messing with other men and did not know
You
about
talking about
it
by
and then
surprise?
found out,
But you gotta expect that, bro. Like
I don't. What I'm saying is, even if you did expect it,
Mhm.
you finding out about it makes you move differently because you look at her differently and you say it's either as I couldn't trust you, you moving shady, you a snake, or you a hoe,
Bro,
and
that's-
those words get thrown out.
that's what's wrong with these hoe ass niggas, bro. They want to do whatever they want to do, and then they can't handle
The other side
the
of it.
repercussion of it.
Right.
So if you want to play, if this is the life you want to live, where you date multiple people, then you need to be man enough to understand that there's another man
There's another
after the
side to
same chick,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna meet anybody in 2020 and get in their inbox.
2021.
Excuse me. Right. 2021. Thank you.
Right.
You're not gonna meet anybody in this time frame that you think that you're the only person talking to them.
But that's why me and Steph were saying that we don't think that in most general places men cannot accept that.
Mm-mm. I mean, I'm saying this
generally-
as a
And I'm not saying there's outliers,
Right.
obviously,
Yeah.
and
Right.
there's people
I
that are
guess-
more
yeah,
mature.
okay,
like
fine.
generally,
I-
right.
But
I've-
I'm
I've
trying to
thought
tell y'all talking from y'all. I've dated
See,
men.
I sound
y'all
like you, huh?
haven't.
How you know who fuck
Yeah,
he's
you did a
dated?
step to Steph.
I did.
Like,
And
How many men
I
have
was
y'all
being
dated?
vulnerable.
That's
I'm
the question,
sorry.
So I'm just telling you.
look, I was being vulnerable. I'm sorry.
They say they can, and
How many
Yeah, so
niggas'
they-
hearts have you broken?
Enough.
none.
She
I ain't
says
never broke nobody's heart before.
that ain't went home and cried. You
Fact,
didn't know.
I don't believe us. I don't believe it.
That nigga put
Hey,
his
weren't
back on
you
the wall and
talking to
slid down.
somebody when Tyson came back?
No, not like that.
Not like that.
That's such a nigga answer. He said
Right,
not
right,
like that.
right,
you hear him?
right.
You hear him?
In her eyes, not
In her-
like
in
that.
her eyes,
That
they
nigga
were
had a
building.
Now
shrine.
look, he did
We
it
was
in
not
quotes.
building.
He
were
did in the
building.
quotes. They were building.
No.
No.
He still got pictures of him.
That
Pictures in the
nigga-
wallet and
that
shit.
nigga don't ever want to see that nigga walking the streets.
I'm done.
Well, I don't know how we got here, but I love it.
Right. That was,
No.
you know, that
I
needed,
think
that
we're
do need to be, that sex
Damn, what were we
therapy
talking about?
episode.
No,
gonna have to have
hey,
that.
because it's real.
It is real.
It's
Yeah.
real.
Well, and not just even sex, just finding therapy in
Coping with different.
what? Yes,
Yo, that shit-
trying to beat around the bush
that
to cope
shit, that shit
instead of
don't-
just dealing with
it don't work.
No.
It doesn't work until I sat down with some mentors and I sat down with some people who were going to give me some real spiritual game, some real life game,
Right.
right? And I think you're right though. There is an innate part of you that wants to, like for me, right? Whenever I've been rejected or
Yes.
people said I wasn't good enough at something,
Yes.
I've always purposely improved.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So for me, I don't think it was so much of the thrill of like trying to prove to myself I was good enough.
Right.
But it was always the point of, cool, now you got to watch me go. You know what I mean? It's always been about that. So the ego part, I don't have the emotional, I think like after being cheated on the second time, like the emotional hurt from people cheating on me, like I just started expecting that stuff, right? But when you're young, that's what happens, right? When you're young, everybody's still trying to figure themselves out. So I stopped taking stuff personal. You know what I mean? So for myself, I was able to date multiple people if they were dating multiple people, and I was always cool. I sleep good every night, bro. 30 seconds or less when I hit the pillow. I don't really think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now I don't gotta worry about that. But.
I just and again, I was speaking generally. I just think when there's infidelity, when you're cheated on, when you're abandoned, when you're rejected, generally I would assume, and I've been there, that you do start questioning yourself a little bit. You start, do I got it? Am I okay? Am I good? Like, am I, and for then you've been out the game for so long because you've been invested in one relationship, then you kind of get back in the game and you're like, you kind of notice things again. And you're like, well, let me, you start to question who you are and what you bring to the table until again, you start getting some of that attention. And I think a lot of people then find sex as an avenue to then gauge their self-value at some point. And I'm not saying everybody.
No, you're
I'm
right.
saying generally.
You're right, but that is the worst thing to value yourself.
Because we see it on social media.
Every
a lot
day.
of the likes and a lot of the comments and a lot of the attention, both men and women, is based off of all that's true. And I think that the sexiest thing, I'm going to speak for myself, in a person is the totality of a person. Yes.
Does that make sense? Right. So you can be sexy online, but I know chicks right now that are getting 1,000 likes that are sleeping on the floor. You know what I'm saying? I know men.
No substance.
I know no substance. And I know men that buy all this designer stuff and then they go home and sleep at their mom's house.
Tooth throbbing in the back of their mouth.
no dental insurance, nothing. But
my thing is this though. I feel like a lot of people do that. Like they want to say how many people want them, and they be like, "Well, man, I could get okay."
And what?
And what does that mean?
But can you keep them?
But we talked about that with the white girl group chat.
Yeah.
Just because everybody wants you, does that mean that you have high value, or does that mean that maybe people think that you're easy? I think sometimes your flex actually backfires on you, bro. When you say I got 100 women in my inbox, bro. 100 women shouldn't be in your inbox. That means that maybe you have put yourself out there too much, and they think that you are so accessible that you know what I mean. I
always felt like that when people want to brag about somebody's like, oh, it's people's man in my inbox. Obviously, he's trash, and the fact that he's willing to step to you, that to me, that's an insult.
Well, what are you attracted?
The fact that you even would step to me and think that I would be cool with this, I've always been insulted by something like that.
Hold on. Me too. You have to be. See, my chick can get attention. I'm one of them kind. I like that shit. I like that people like what I like, right? And I also understand the conversation we had off camera. I also understand that the type of women that I like they're full of substance, they're vibrant, they're full of life.
They will get attention.
And they're gonna get attention.
Yes.
Right? And it's not just on a looks basis, but it's actually what they talk about, what they bring to the table.
Right.
So I enjoy that. Right. That's my thing is, like you said, if somebody is willing enough to start talking to you on a level that's beyond the respect of the relationship, then is it his fault or is it your fault? Right? How like you said, how accessible are you? But those are conversations that you have to have because it's on a case by case basis.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on a nigga's head. Like, what? Why would you?
Yeah, it should be shut down immediately.
You got me fucked up.
Yeah.
I can't just say
First of all,
I can't just say that she's being too provocative or promiscuous or stuff just because niggas are in there like, yo, let me send you a dick pic, right? But then on the other token, that's why you got to have the communication. One thing that this podcast stresses is communication.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? This is why this nigga's life is stress free.
Absolutely.
I feel like women think like that though, because like like, you know how dudes will be like, I can't control what a woman will stay on my page. Our first thing we think is, why do she feel cool enough
To talk,
That's the first thing we think.
No, but look at
Because-
somebody like Focus. Look at somebody like Photo B. Look at somebody like myself, right? The energy surrounding this man's life is success. Is he's already married, so he's a committed man, right? He talks about God all the time. His morals and his values are of the highest standard, right?
So
It
somebody should know that they can't step to him
no,
on no bullshit.
no. But that's
yeah.
the reality of how you feel. But the other reality is there are women that will test that to see if he's really that, or there are people that are so drawn to that they disregard his marriage.
That's true.
That's true. But he has to shut that down.
But the
when it
majority
happens.
of how I'm approached
Mhm.
is usually on some spiritual wisdom
Facts.
conversation.
That's my inbox,
so when I'm
mostly.
approached that way,
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, you have to come to me correct.
Facts.
Because if you come on me on some BS, I'm not responding,
But either
or I'm shutting it down.
even
And that's what
that-
she's saying is that
But even that though, because me and you, we talk about the same thing. We got
Right.
the same thing in our inbox.
right,
The way we talk, most people hit me about investments. They hit me about how to make money.
Right.
They hit me about how to flip a house. I'm
Right.
always getting stock interest or crypto interest, right? I don't get a lot of people in my inbox talking about, oh, you're fine as fuck. Let me yada, yada, yada. Their approach is either, like you said, it's always about ministry, or can you pray for me, or how do I make some money, right? And then those relationships, sometimes they
Will turn
subtly
into,
turn into them trying to pop at me.
that's facts.
You know what I'm saying? They're not just in my inbox. I do get some crazy ass shit in my inbox.
I think everybody does, but
You know what I
you
mean?
know, I think it's really like kind of, and then we'll kind of bring the conversation back to what it was.
Photo B's like, no.
It's just like
Those
let me
team.
think. It's just like the strip. So like when you go to Vegas, you know in certain hotels you can't act up.
Facts.
You just know that. As soon as you walk in, you see the marble, you see the
That's
gold,
facts.
you see the Versace stores,
That's
you see the
facts.
shit, and
You
you
can't
like
act up in
You
Bellagio.
can't,
can't-
be
we
in the
can't-
palace acting stupid.
you can't act
cannot.
up in there.
No.
now
sir.
if you go down the street and get off the strip,
Maybe you go to the Lux or something like
and
that.
however
MGM.
much you paying, you know,
MGM.
niggas be acting up a little bit, right?
Mhm,
Because
mhm.
they know when as soon as they walked in, the standard has already been set, and
Bingo.
they see it. And what I paid for it, hey, I can do whatever I want. If you pay $300-$400 a night, you know you ain't acting up in that hotel because you don't want to get kicked out. If
Facts.
I'm paying $20 a night,
Facts.
I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want. Because if I get kicked out, I don't care.
Bucks, Right. I'll
Hey.
go down the street and get another one.
The Bellagio side, don't act up.
The
Don't
sil-
act
the
up.
sil-
Flamingo side,
the
fuck up.
yeah, if you're in the Silver Legacy, do whatever you want.
Stratosphere.
You wanna go to the Gold Nugget? Act your ass.
if your hotel got
Circus.
if your hotel got a ride on the top, fuck it up, sis.
New York, New York.
New York.
There you go.
For the streets.
Y'all brought New York to Vegas? For sure.
I'm so weak. I'm in the middle. I'm
Circus.
at Planet Hollywood.
Cir-
You know, it's ghetto, but it's
Hey.
still cool.
Circus,
Yeah.
circus,
popping.
circus.
It's fun.
Man, what you
Planet
going to circus?
Hollywood
You
be
stay in
popping.
circus, bro. You might as well run around naked. Cause
Nah, man,
it's a
kids be
brothel.
in circus,
That's
man.
it.
still a
It's
brothel.
stratosphere. That's where it's ghetto at. That's the hood.
Oh man.
Fremont Street.
Niggas have been to Vegas too much.
Too much. We do the breakdown. The breakdown.
Hey, shout out to Vegas.
The
Speaking of
COVID
self-
Express.
Go get your free COVID.
Oh my God.
with they slow counting ass. Ain't
Oh
no-
my God. These niggas was counting chips. Bruh.
Shit.
Speaking of self-value, and
Damn, that was funny.
we're gonna talk about soul. So
Oh yeah, we can just skip everything else, bro. We did a good
Yep.
job.
Straight to soul. I love it.
so
Let's get to soul.
love it.
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna get this.
I love getting to pop this when I'm doing something else. hang
Where we at? Okay, so first Pixar movie that has a black lead in it. Jamie Foxx was the lead. Joe Gardner, right? It caused a little bit of controversy just because of tropes and the fact that the character basically transformed into a soul or into a blue character and was not seen in his black skin the entire movie. There was also issues because it has been a consistent theme with Disney as far as Princess and the Frog, as far as some other movies like Emperor's New Groove. And it wasn't Disney, but also the movie with Will Smith as the pigeon. I forgot what the name of that movie was.
Spy
Zootopia.
something.
Was that Zootopia?
No. This
Zootopia.
came out like
It don't matter, man. They
called
made a
Spy
black
something.
man a pigeon.
Whatever.
Okay, I'm
Dream-
disrespected. Disrespectful.
So there's a clear divide.
And
There's
listen.
some people that love the movie, and there's some people that are upset and feel like that Disney and Pixar took a step back because right after Black Panther, then this came out, and they thought that there would be better representation. So, how do we think? What are our thoughts? Let's react. Yeah,
No, let's make him go first. He never goes first.
He never.
I'll
goes
go first. That's fine.
Yes.
First off, I love the movie. I watched it with my daughter. I watched it with my family. We watched it for family night. I thought the message was on point. I thought just talking about the differences between your passion and your purpose, I think were spot on. And I felt like in the movie, and I'm sure you guys are going to agree, and that we already talked about it. The barbershop scene was probably my favorite scene.
Of course it was.
Definitely.
Very black of him.
As a black man, I know the importance of what a barbershop is. Just because it's basically therapy for us. And we're able to be free, open, conversate, say what we want.
Unless you're
without
in
feeling
Sacramento
judged.
and then the barbers start talking about all your business, and now everybody knows your business. Shout out Sacramento barbers.
We in the chair.
Yeah, and just how the barber basically said, when Joe was like, "Oh man, like it must suck being a barber." After I think he said that he got his degree or something.
Yeah.
And then he said, "No, I actually love being a barber because I'm able to help people." And to me, that was kind of the underlying theme of it. As far as the criticisms, I did feel what they were saying as far as transferring into the soul. When I first watched it, that did come to mind. But I felt like, and I said it on the Reverb, I felt like there was a good balance. I felt like they brought it back and they did showcase black people. I think they could have done a better job, but I think we have to get to a point where sometimes everything doesn't have to be what we think it's going to be. Just because it didn't fit our standard doesn't mean that you still could not enjoy the movie. So I feel like two things could be there. I think you can enjoy the movie, but I think you can say that, maybe next time in the future, we would like to have a full-length animated movie with us highlighted without transferring anything like that. But don't take away the message from the movie. That's I think the message was bigger than what we're saying. I do understand the criticisms, but I think sometimes black people, I think we can get to a place where we're so critical that we miss the core or the soul of the actual movie.
Nice.
The soul.
Nice.
Come on, high five, bro.
Come on now.
High
Good
five.
job.
High
Good
five.
job.
I see
That was
what you
great.
did. I see
That
what
was
you
great.
did there.
So proud of you. So proud. This is why you're
I
here. This
agree
is why you're here.
100% with everything you said. My thing was
That's why we can't
when
let
I
this nigga
watched
go
the
first.
movie, bruh,
Never again.
Bruh.
Never
I'm
again.
convinced.
You're going last.
for real. But when I watched the movie, it was crazy to me to receive that message, and then I'm like, how do people receive this message and then get off of that and get on the internet to like completely miss it? Like, I'm like, y'all doing the complete opposite
Because
of
they
what-
didn't want to accept it.
like, this is crazy. But I mean, I get what they're saying, and I know when I first saw the trailer, I was like, damn. And I knew the internet was gonna run with this, like from the moment, because the trailer came out hella long ago,
Yeah.
and it was already
It was
the
like last
criticism.
year, I think.
Yeah, so it was already the criticism there. But I'm like, damn, it looks like it's gonna be a good movie, and it was.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. For this one, I just feel like I don't have the energy to be mad.
Right.
It's the new year. I'm on a positive hype. Like, the movie was good.
Yeah.
Period. Like, I'm gonna just
Versace
leave it at that. Like, I don't
It's
have the
Versace
energy
time.
to be like,
Right.
everything ain't got to be a think piece.
That's true.
Bruh,
That's
people
true.
want to hop on the internet and write think pieces about everything.
Yes.
Even when they brought back, like, Moesha and all the girlfriends, all these long ass dissertations, like, bruh, just watch it.
Enjoy the movie.
Just enjoy the shit.
It's for
Yeah.
entertainment.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'll be tired sometimes.
You sound tired.
I'm
You
tired.
sound tired.
I'm tired.
I will also agree. I really didn't understand the complaints. We did hear about, they were like, it's the white woman in a black man's body.
Oh, the white
whatever.
savior thing.
The depth that you have to think to come up with a problem. It was still a black character the entire freaking movie, and we still got the barbershop experience regardless of who was playing, right? And we got the jazz club,
yeah.
and we still had we even had the mannerisms of like celebrity jazz artists, and you know what I'm saying. And so it really sometimes sometimes it frustrates me for somebody to be like, here we go again, and to me, I don't feel like it was anything like the other movies. I still feel like, even however you want to look at it, whoever transferred into whatever transferred into who, we still got the full black experience, right? We still got to see our culture. We still got to live the jazz. We still got to see the mom that disapproves of what you're doing as some type of black son, right? We
good.
paid all that.
Friends too.
Man, bro, because I related to that so much because my mom was like, okay, you could do music, yada, 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 but we need this. Man, when I first started making beats, you know, when they're terrible, when I first started making music, my dad used to be like, yo, cut that off. You know what I mean? So it wasn't my dad, but I had to convince my family that this would work. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I related to that. And that, I don't know if that's everybody's culture, but that was my black experience growing up. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I think that sometimes, man, it's not always about trying to sound smart or trying to sound educated, or I think we tear down such good messages and good products so often that I think that shit is lightweight weak, bro. I think I mean, I understand you have your opinion or whatever, so on and so forth, but like you said, man, sometimes you just got to look at the bigger picture. The people look at the small parts, and it might just be small to me. Right? It might be small to me, right? I can't tell you what the priorities of your life for this movie are. Right, exactly. But as far as I got to sit down with my kids, we watched it twice, and I got to explain certain things to my kids. And what made me feel good was when the barbershop scene came up, my son related to that, right? And then when the jazz scene came up, and the lady was playing instruments, my daughter related to that. You know what I'm saying? So it was dope, man. And plus, I could have played the keys on that movie.
definitely could have played the keys on that.
Yeah, the movie was a great movie. I understand people being upset about it, but it's just like, why are you letting something that is, I don't want to say mundane, but it's like, why are you letting something like that go over, like let this movie go over your head? It talks about a lot of different things when it comes to personal growth, personal understanding. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to your passion, not your purpose. That probably hurt a lot of people, because it's like, damn, I love doing this, but what am I supposed to do? A lot of people don't want to think about their purpose. They love doing what they want to do, and that's it. Right? But one thing is that's funny, that people are upset about the fact that it went from black character to being just a soul and not being, you know, who he is the entire time.
And
he's
still
black.
cat.
Right. But nobody has ever, I haven't heard anybody say anything about the fact that although Mulan was put up for $30, Soul was put up for free.
Yeah.
Soul was put up for free. Brand new movie, not to theaters, straight to Disney Plus for free. Nobody said anything about that.
That's a bar.
I thought
Give 'em some
about it.
change.
I really thought about it, because I was like, when people were saying, I was like, is it finna be $30? I mean, I want to see it.
I would have paid it. I would have
I
paid
was
$30.
like, that's the first guy said it's gonna be $30, and they was like, no, it's free. I'm
Mulan
like,
was $30. I won't say trash, but it wasn't as good. It wasn't worth it.
I just finally watched it. It really wasn't as bad as people was trying to make
it
it out.
It wasn't
to
that
be.
bad.
Like,
Mulan, they want to compare. Yeah, they always want to compare it to the cartoon movie. Oh,
It was
Mushu
not
wasn't
that
there.
bad.
It wasn't like that. It wasn't that bad.
Maybe if
It
I
was
paid
a
$30,
decent
I would feel different.
But you know what? But you
Probably.
yeah.
You feel me? I did wait.
If I paid $30,
I wouldn't have waited for
the
Soul.
thing is with Mulan, I think the reason why it makes me feel a certain way now is because we already knew what the message of Mulan was before we watched it.
It's true.
Right? We already knew that before. So I think they did make people get subscriptions for Disney Plus for Soul, right?
I think
I mean, you still have
part
to
of the decision on it being $30 was and my timeline might be off. I thought that was within that same time frame that a lot of the subscriptions were free. Because like if you have Verizon or if you had certain things, you had that year
They
for
still
free.
offering Disney Plus for free.
Okay, yeah.
I
I think, and this was during the pandemic where they were trying to figure out ways around the movie theaters being closed. So I think Disney was experimenting with going direct to consumer the way that Troll movie was. That Troll movie made a lot of money. Because it went straight to consumer. So I think if Mulan would have did well, they would have been charging for Soul. But because it didn't do well and everybody waited because they knew it was going to be free anyway, they said, well, we're not even going to do that. We're going to just go ahead and put it for free anyway because they would get the money back on that advertisement anyway.
Yeah.
And if you're going to watch Soul, more than likely, you're probably going to watch other content on Disney Plus as well.
And
They just want people to get to their
That's
platform.
how I ended up watching Mulan and watching a whole bunch of other stuff on there. Parent Trap. They got some stuff on there.
It's a prop value. It's yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, they even had Black is King.
Yeah.
Wasn't Black King is King free?
Yeah.
Right? That
All
was
that's
free.
on there.
Right. So it's like, it's not like it's not like they're desperate to get people. Disney Plus you have Disney, you have Marvel, you have a lot of shit that people will watch regardless.
But that costs a lot of money to put on there. So they have to make money somehow. And people think, oh, because the content is free, doesn't mean that the content was free for them to make.
No, not at all.
But what they're doing, they're banking on you going there. And I don't know if there's ads on Disney Plus or not. I think there may be. And the bottom line is you're competing with Netflix, with Hulu, with Amazon. Not even that. And that's why and I think this is another good conversation that we probably will have in the future, is the devaluation of some of these other content mediums. Like when you go to music is extremely devalued now. Because now music you have to compete with, again, Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu, YouTube,
Amazon.
All of these. So everything is competing with your attention. And the days of you sitting down to a full album and listening from track 1 through 15, those days are done.
Bro, that's facts. Because I did 16 tracks. My first 10 are all over 10, 20,000. And then the back half, they're under 1,000
because the attention span.
Right.
That's why so many of these artists are doing EPs, because they're shorter projects.
That's exactly.
And they know that, and that's why Summer Walker and all those other artists are doing tracks that are 2 minutes, 3 minutes long. Because they know you're not going to be sitting there listening for an hour.
I was just telling my boys. We were just talking to everybody doing music, and I was like, shoot, these records didn't get the exposure, so maybe we'll just use them and we'll call it the back half. And then put it back out.
Just do a whole nother project.
Chris Brown gonna have an issue.
He's been.
Chris Brown putting out these 2-3 day albums.
See, but I think Chris is different because his strategy is they're gonna stream. So instead of doing multiple albums back to back to back to back to back, I'm gonna hit you with 45 tracks. And because I'm Chris Brown, you're gonna listen. And he's also playing the long game where he's not really worried about you listening to the album. He's thinking that you're gonna add his songs to your playlist. And the more songs you put out, the more playlists that people are gonna add it to, and you're gonna get the streams either way.
Yeah, that's the point.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't listening.
But not everybody can do that strategy. He's a Grammy Award winning artist that is backed by. Yeah, I think he's on Universal.
I wish they would listen to my whole project. Man, I'd be at 1 million.
Yeah,
if they
easily
listen to the whole thing.
But it's just people's attention spans just keep getting less and less and less and less. So
that's true.
Music is.
Are we getting stupider?
Songs about to get to be like one verse and a hook.
Yeah, no, really,
on a regular basis,
bro.
I know there's a few. I'm talking on a regular basis.
So in
snippets.
In my circles, I got people that range from 16 to like 50. Like all the people over 35, when I do 2 verses and 2 hooks and I'm out, they're like, I want more.
That's not enough.
I want more. I want more. But all the younger people are like, we'll just put it on repeat. They have no problem listening to a song on repeat.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but that's why the artists like the Kendrick and the Coles, they wait.
They take
to drop
forever.
Because they know if you keep putting out music, you're not going to appreciate it.
Yep.
And they want to build the anticipation because you will listen if Kendrick drops.
Look at Frank Ocean.
That's all I was just thinking about Frank Ocean.
That's like
we was over there waiting for Frank to drop something, but then we was kind of low key disappointed.
I was high key disappointed, but
that's how I feel about Rihanna. Like Rihanna, quit playing with us. I feel like once it come out,
Riri's like, I'm a billionaire.
Well, she still need to drop some more of those men draws and shit. I need some more.
but because you waited so long, you're more willing to listen.
Did you see Rod Wave?
But I feel like when you waited so long, you're more critical too.
We are. That's why we were so critical about Frank Ocean, because you waited.
You're like, damn, we waited hella long, and that's it.
But you still listened.
Yeah, definitely.
And with Rihanna, we know what kind of caliber artist she is and what kind of people she got around her. So
it's gonna be fire.
It'll be fire
if it ever comes out,
man.
Well, you know what? To get to a place where you don't have to produce music, you're at a pretty good place.
I feel like that about my life, and you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's because you want to, because you have a passion for it.
Right.
But
So-
you don't have to.
Right,
So I'm saying
that's
you're not producing music to just make money. You're doing it because you love it.
That's facts. That's
and
facts.
that comes out totally different.
It absolutely
Because you're not
because
chasing
I'm not
sound.
a trend. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not riding the trend or whatever.
Exactly.
You know what I
And
mean?
you don't have like labels that's
Telling me what to do, what I can
you know
and
what I'm
cannot
saying,
do.
or making more money off your music than you making.
Yeah.
So it's like shit. If I could do all of this and this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
I ain't
and
mad.
because it really does put it. It's like him with his business, right?
You have freedom.
We do whatever we want,
Exactly.
right? And
Yeah.
then the cherry on top is we're good at it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We excel. We're like beyond the average scope of what people are doing. That's why I like when you guys do videos, because I feel the same way about that. I'm like, these niggas just living life.
But it's you got that freedom, and I feel like that's kind of the thing. Like once people started being like, "Oh, I'll pay you to do this video," and then I gotta send it to you for you to look at
Approve
it
it.
and approve it, all that shit. This like it
That should
ain't.
take the fun out of it,
It
don't it?
do. I'm
Oh
like,
my god!
I don't
man.
really like this.
You know-
I just want to do my
Ain't your
own
purpose.
video. Right. After watching Soul,
I got soul, baby.
That's hella funny.
weak.
Hey, that's
was
two
real.
soul puns so far.
Hey.
That's two.
Hey.
That's two.
Hey.
That was a good movie for real.
Hey, but no, at the end of the day, bro, like at the end of the day, when you're doing what you want to do because you want to, it really is. Because I love when people be like, I don't really like that song,
Yeah.
and I'm like, watch me put it out anyway.
Yeah, because it has a freedom to it. You know what? And I wasn't too mad, and I want to come back, and then we're gonna go to the ones gotta go. And we can talk about it. I just want to get to that because I know the internet wins again is gonna be
Long.
pretty.
I mean,
in-depth.
we could skip straight to that.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's fine.
Are you don't do one gotta go?
The one thing that irritated me the most about the criticism with Soul, I wasn't too mad about the black people because I get the when you have the different tropes and different characters, it kind of dehumanizes you a little bit.
Mhm.
And for us black people, we have a long history of that, so I get it.
That's true.
But the one criticism that I didn't get that irritated me more was Christians was complaining about the whole views on life and death.
Oh man.
And I was like, as a believer myself,
He was like, bitch, it's a movie.
I was like, well, more or less is if you're upset about your child learning about a different viewpoint, to me, that's an opportunity for you to have a conversation.
Facts on
It brings up
facts.
the dialogue. And they're going to learn about that in different views,
As they
either
grow.
at home
Mm-hmm.
or away from home. And if you don't have the conversation with them, then you're leaving the world up, or you're leaving their friends or other people to help, shape their viewpoint. Then, to me, that's a beautiful opportunity to bring up a conversation. Hey, what did you think about that movie?
Yep.
What did you
That's
think
exactly what we
about
did.
the life and death?
That's
Did you
exactly what we
agree
did.
with it? Did you disagree with it? Why did you agree with it? Why did you not? Because then you can see how your child thinks.
Mhm.
But if you just say, "Oh, I don't want you to watch this movie because I don't agree with how they showed life and death,"
I don't
Look.
understand the thing with black people and doing that shit.
no, it's not
Those
just
are
black
Christians.
people.
I mean, Christians,
Yes.
Christian people. I think. Sometimes, man, I hate wearing this badge, bro. I hate that I believe what a lot of people believe, and I tap into it, and then they're so fucking lost.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I feel like the position that a lot of Christians take, that they're better than, right? I hate that shit. I hate that we can't just have human, regular conversations, and we can't look at things as opportunities, and we can't, as a group,
Mhm.
accept the other thought process. We can't accept how people move, right?
Mhm.
It is very discouraging to a lot of people to fucking even talk to people who believe in Christ. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like most of that comes from conditioning of not being allowed to even have a conversation or even doubt it.
Facts.
That's
Anyways, no conversation.
Facts.
And that's the thing. Like, there's no room for conversation, no room for dialogue,
Dialogue. Mm-mm.
nothing. So then you wonder why people are so close minded.
That's true.
I feel like a lot of it comes down to the fact that a lot of people who don't have a conversation because they grew up without the knowledge, and they were told that you can't ask about these questions, and now it's like, I don't want to have this conversation because now it's an uncomfortable conversation to have because I don't have the answers. I've been told this, but I still don't believe it, but I still was told that this is what it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
And I can't tell you otherwise because now I feel like I'm doing something wrong because you're questioning it. I was approached this way about it when I was your age, and I'm going to do the same thing because I feel like this is how it's supposed to be.
I told my parents, when I talk to people about the psychology of how our parents were raised, right?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have, our parents didn't have mental awareness. They didn't have, you weren't able to talk about your emotions. Psychology was deemed to be a terrible thing to go to.
Critical
right?
thinking as well.
Critical thinking was discouraged, right? It was cool when it came to like getting a job and going to work or whatever, staying away from the police, don't commit crimes. Like that's the basics. But anything outside the box of what traditionalism was for being Christian or Christian values, I feel like the forceful nature of not giving someone a choice to live their life, right, is what drives people away from being able to experience the fullness that life offers, right?
Exactly.
So, you know,
But they had to be like that though, because you got to think like people want to act like slavery ain't had no effect, but at the end of the day, there was a time where you have to do exactly what I say, or that it could be life or death. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's
There ain't
true.
no dialogue to be had.
Right.
Ain't no opinions. Is this what we got? How we got to be?
How we got to move. That's
Or
true.
period.
But
So you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of
but
like
I feel
that.
like that's case by case.
That's true.
though.
No, you're right.
It's been
You're right.
passed down of this is how you act. Period.
No, for me, I have those. This is how you're gonna act, and I don't want to. Right? There's things because I need to train my I've trained my children that be it that you're smart and you're intelligent and you can read and you have access to all these same mediums of information that I have.
Right.
I have experience.
Right.
So there are my kids can have my kids when I say do something, we act immediately. But then we go back and we have the conversation on why I needed you to act that way. Right? Because that's how we weren't raised. We weren't raised with the follow-up conversation. It was you do what I say, right? And then if we would have had those follow-up conversations, I think a lot of us would have a different perspective on a lot of things.
Yeah.
We still trying to
because my
phase
kids,
out of
right?
that.
No, real shit. Because my kids, when I tell my kids to do something, that's what it is. Boom.
Yeah.
Right? Because I see everything that you don't see. You're 7.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care what you see. I see it down the road. So I need you to do this. And then when the situation is down and we have time and we're watching movies or we're eating dinner or whatever, then I'm like, yo, this is why I said this.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. And I think that whole viewpoint and that mindset is totally backwards. When you think you have something that is true, truth always encourages and invites investigation. Because if you know it's true, no matter
There's
what
nothing
you
to hide.
find,
Yeah.
it's going to still come back to that.
Facts on
So,
facts.
but when you are manipulating and when you are hiding things, that makes people actually more curious. Because it's like, oh, well, there's something you don't want me to find out. And I'm going to go find it out. And then they become more curious. And then you end up getting put into a place where somebody that may not have the best intentions may be giving you false information to turn you against what you thought that you knew.
Sounds like what's going on with T.I. and his daughter.
All T.I.'s and T.I.'s done. I was going to leave Harris.
Overprotected type shit.
I was going to leave Harris out of this, but it's not Will Smith. He'll take a jab.
Oh, all right. We're going to go to the internet wins again.
Tell me to fuck off.
The segment of the show that we talk about the hottest internet topics and give our opinions and our reactions. And we're going to go ahead and pass it off to Steph.net.
Oh wait, hold on. I ain't ready.
You ain't ready. All right. Well, we going to go ahead and then she going to get ready. First topic is will.i.am is hurt because the Black Eyed Peas he thinks are not considered a black group.
All right, let's take a consensus at this table right now.
Yeah, let's take a vote.
Who
Take a vote.
feels like the Black Eyed Peas is a black group?
For those that are listening, nobody has a hand.
All right. You hide behind the guise of Fergie everything, right? Everything you do is Fergie forward, right? And you are upset that you are not viewed as a black group. When you purposely use the white woman to capture the levels of success and the fame and the money that you have achieved.
To market. Yeah, that's how you marketed yourself.
I don't even remember the other two's name.
I don't know the other two niggas' name.
It's Fergie.
And they've been there
And
for a
Will
hell of a
I Am.
long
Well, you know what? I didn't know this.
Plus
Fergie's not
2.
in the group no more.
You said what?
That's why they're dead. That's why the Black Eyed Peas are dead.
I didn't even know until I started doing the research. I didn't know she wasn't even. In
You
the
know
group.
when you overcook your Black Eyed Peas, they're no good. They overstay their welcome.
Yeah, no.
There's no sugar in the pot. Fergalicious is no more.
You think about a Black Eyed Pea, right? What does it look like?
I mean, I
Little
figured
black,
she
little
wasn't
die,
in
and the
the
rest
group
of his
no
light
more.
skin, right? Left
Well,
and right.
she went
Black
solo.
Eyed
She
Pea.
went solo.
She went solo.
She didn't need him.
Hella
But,
didn't.
but you can go solo but still be a part of a group.
Hey, bro, once she found
I guess
Pharrell,
she's not a part
once
of
she
it.
found Pharrell, it's over.
I mean,
You know
so, because technically, like with companies, they'll call themselves a black company if it's like 51% owned by a black person, right? Is that what he trying to?
I don't even know what we're
So
talking
so the
about.
other two are Taboo
Who?
and Alpha the App.
Those aren't even black
And then
people names.
I guess the new girl. I guess the new girl that replaced Fergie. Her name is J Russell.
What is she?
She's black.
Okay, anyway.
Okay, so now they 50%.
My nigga.
They black now.
But I think what
She
you
light skin or
guys,
dark skin?
Shut up. Ambiguous.
she's black. Let's just say she's black.
I don't care about this conversation,
So
guys.
okay, so Rajo's out of the conversation.
I don't care.
Um,
Because it's stupid to me that he did that.
well,
Why complain about something that you purposely did?
these are yeah. This
Exactly.
this is where I have the issue with him. Okay, so originally, the lead rapper or the lead female that was in the group, she was black. Her name was Kim Hill, right? And she left the group because when they tried to transition to more commercial, and when they signed the Interscope, they were asking her to be more promiscuous and dancing on Will I Am and showing more skin, and she wasn't having it. She said, "I'm not going to be sexualized. I'm out." So then they added in Fergie, 2002, and that's when their commercial success started happening because she was willing to do that. So you sold out,
Yeah.
and you did not have your bandmates back when she did not want to be sexualized. So you disregarded your black female bandmates' feelings for your success, and now you're coming back saying that you are hurt
you
because
want
you
black
want to be considered a black
because you
group.
want black validation now.
That doesn't work, bro.
Trash, bro. Will
That'll
I Am
work.
is my he's my honorary trash as fuck for this segment. You were trash as fuck for that shit
Yeah.
you did.
Let
Bro,
me ask
you-
you. Let me ask y'all this: mid 2000s, what channel would you see Black Eyed Peas
MTV.
on?
MTV.
What they sold out? Yeah, they
MTV.
they
You
made
won't
a
see it on
conscious
BT like
effort
that.
to go pop.
Yeah.
BET ain't never played no Black Eyed Peas.
No.
A little
Not
bit
with no Fergalicious
When they
pop.
first came out,
when they first did,
Ferg-
but not when they
Fergalicious-
transferred over.
and then when she was doing the solo shit, and
Fergalicious.
she had some like features with when they did the shit with Luda. That's because of
Yeah.
Luda.
Right.
Come on now,
Yeah.
you
I
can listen
agree.
to Black Eyed Peas on 102.5 right now.
I didn't even know that part. The whole cameo. I didn't even know that.
First off, 102.5 is disrespectful for playing Fergie in the Black Eyed Peas right now.
I don't
That's what
remember
I'm
last
saying.
time I even listened to 102.
Why would you? They don't play anything up to date.
I don't know
Exactly.
the last
That's
time I
what I'm
listened to the radio.
Period. Right.
Is that radio?
I heard it on accident. I was like, damn, this song still come on from 2 years ago. I was like, oh shit,
God
wow.
damn.
But yeah, it to me,
The only time I listened to the radio was in the aux cord
The
and
music-
accidentally popped
Exactly.
out.
Ah, shit.
the
You're
music,
like, oh shit,
He
get
accidentally
back in.
he accidentally turned it down. Like
the
shit,
music
nah, hold up.
supervisor's still not playing nothing from Sacramento. What is we
Boy.
listening to you for,
Oh,
bro?
my
103.5
God.
was the only one that had the opportunity. And they want to
Shit.
go.
Yeah, they got
Reggae-
bought out, right?
reggaeton?
They got
Ca-
bought out.
They
so.
sure did.
Casino Español.
Right.
Yeah.
No entiendo.
What they
You know
call
what
the
I'm
Heat
saying?
now? 103.5 the Heat, something like
Fuego.
that.
I missed the
Yeah.
Fuego.
Fuego.
bomb. I missed
Yeah.
103.5 the bomb. That was
Even towards the end, they were still. It was the same thing, man. You would turn
Llame
on
el
102.5,
fuego.
same song on 103.5.
no
and
for real.
before that, they did have a local segment where they would play local artists.
I don't
and-
remember.
I do.
I do too, but I don't remember. I don't remember when they ever really helped Sacramento get on, bro. I don't
Early-
remember.
early
When,
2000s.
after DOA and Skip Davis left, right? That was it.
Mhm.
That was it. After Ebro left out of here and DOA and all those people left, there was no more love for local.
Yeah.
So
Well, once smartphones and the internet got popping, I would always listen to Bay Area radio stations. I wouldn't even listen to SAC.
KML.
KML. There you
Period.
go.
you can
So
still tune into KML. They got up to date music.
for sure.
Big
Because-
Von, you're doing and Shay Diddy,
Amazing
doing a
job.
great job.
Absolutely.
And I'm about to be calling y'all because I need to spend my
Props of the week.
So we all agree.
Yes.
Black Eyed Peas is not a black group.
No, you know.
And
Just
Will
because
I
you have the
Am-
name Black in it doesn't mean you
Look
like it.
at what a Black Eyed Pea looked like.
Right. Well, and
Mostly
again,
white.
I want to hit on the point that
Is Will I Am Black just because he has dreads?
y'all are trash for not backing your sister when she
Facts.
did not want to be over sexualized.
With names like Taboo and what's the other nigga's name?
Just to get a check.
For
For
a
a bag.
check. And then you're sad that we don't fuck with you.
Mm-mm.
Well, and the fact is, what the problem with this is that I wouldn't have even known that if he wouldn't have said this.
Now we
No, for real.
know.
You shining light on stuff that nobody was shining a light on.
For real.
Like you opened up you pulled the skeletons out your own
Right.
closet.
You can't be coming out.
He was like, I'm here.
you can't be under the radar and all of a sudden want to pop up. Everybody's gonna look at shit now.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Everybody got access to everything right now.
This
Back
nigga
in
wants
2002,
This
you been
nigga
cool.
wants to be a black group because police shootings. Nigga, get the fuck up out of here. You wanna be an activist now. Now
Yeah.
you want us to love you like
And
you
now
didn't love
I like
us.
that.
And
Dick
you
riding Obama,
you heard us from
Obama.
going to doing underground hip hop and then turning and going pop.
Trash is fuck. Honorary for you, sir. Trash, bro.
Well, speaking of hip hop,
Mm-hmm.
Pepsi commercial type shit.
Charlemagne, your boy.
I love Charlamagne.
Yeah, we know. But your boy
And
said that he believes
Hey,
that
first off, listen before we start going too hard. We got some business coming up with that man, so let's tread that.
anyway,
Anyway.
he
Nah, he'll
said
appreciate this.
that the Drake
He'll appreciate
era
this.
is over.
I'm gonna play the clip.
Play the
Play
clip, please.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm gonna
Smart
text that
to
nigga
come on
right
the
now.
network,
Y'all
you to
talking
report that
shit.
Charlemagne the
He
God.
was
I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say, are you looking forward to Drake's new project?
No.
The
I
pause.
forgot about you. Wait,
Why not? Well,
For all the same reasons that for all the same reasons we love Kendrick. Kendrick makes us wait. Kendrick gives us something to look forward to. Kendrick, takes his time.
so if he wouldn't have dropped Dark Lanes, you would be interested in this Loverboy tape?
I just don't know what Drake has given us so much music that I don't know if he has another gear.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like we know Kendrick has another gear. He shows us that with every project. Drake has given us so much. I don't know if he has another gear, so therefore I'm not looking forward to anything.
Mm.
Let me ask y'all a question. Are we still in the Drake era? Or is radio such a prehistoric form of medium? Is radio such a prehistoric form of media that it hasn't changed the temperature to what's actually going on out here in these streets?
we in the little baby era.
Definitely a
keep it
little
on.
baby
In a little
area,
baby
but I
era.
do think that
Okay.
We in the
people
little
that
baby era.
really, really still love Drake the same way they still really, really love the Migos.
It still feels like we're in a Drake era. I don't think we're in a Drake era. I don't think we've been in a Drake era for the past 2-3 years.
And that's why I was gonna ask like y'all
Yeah.
All right, that was Charlemagne the God on the Brilliant Idiots podcast.
That wasn't so brilliant.
How do
a
we
little bit
feel?
of idiot.
How do we feel?
You already know how I feel.
Yeah, let's Steph that go first. Go
Steph,
ahead.
yes.
Get it off your chest, man.
Man,
Get it off your chest.
Steph is the Drake correspondent on the
She is
show.
period.
Hey,
Keep
stand for
Drake,
Drake.
name out your mouth.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Drake gonna do numbers. I don't know why. Like maybe because he ain't, putting nothing out.
Mhm.
But it's like just wait for the tape to come out and it's gonna do numbers and niggas. It's gonna be quotables and that's gonna be everybody captions all over again. I feel like the Drake slander always happens when it's been a while
Mhm.
since his last project because I guess niggas just forget.
Well, and I'm just asking this just to play devil's advocate. Do you think his comments were saying that it was not going to do well? Or did you think that he was saying that Drake
He's not going to
cannot
give us any
elevate
yeah,
what he
yeah.
has done previously?
What difference does it make?
No, but that's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel.
I don't give a damn about none of that
No,
shit.
real shit.
Difference does it
That's
make?
exactly how I feel because Drake is gonna make you feel, and this is what Drake does. And like I said, like for niggas to even be calling me Blake, bro, I'm like, yo, that's hard because I want that same presence. I want people to feel when I say stuff. When's the last time you heard a Drake album and you didn't either stop liking somebody or start feeling a certain kind of way? Right? That's what he does. He manipulates your emotions and he's perfect at it, bro. You know what
He
I'm saying?
got a lane.
I feel like I
what's
know.
wrong with having a lane and being good at what
I
you
feel
do?
like I know him personally. I caught my mom in the driveway. She only 5'2". You know what I'm saying? She crying
and
my
then
soul. You know what I'm saying? Like this.
I think the context
that's-
of it was talking about ranking who the best artist was.
He is the best
So-
artist. He's the best commercial artist. I don't care how you feel with all your hip hop love.
No.
It's the
I'm
truth.
not saying anything. I'm just giving context because I think we're saying what does it matter. I don't think it matters because of the project in itself. I think it matters in if you're talking about if you're ranking people and who's better and who's not.
I understand.
That's always been a hip hop conversation. Who's the best? Who's in the top?
So
My thing is, it's crazy, but like we in a little baby era. How many projects he put out?
2.
Yeah,
I'm sad they even said that on the
I think
and baby album smack.
no. I think Charlemagne. The issue I had with what Charlemagne said
Drake, just go ahead and send them bottles again, bro.
is and it honestly doesn't have nothing to do with Drake at all. Is that if you still think that radio has any kind of influence on what we listen to or what we think is hot, you are way
Right.
like
We
you
just,
are.
we just talked about the radio.
You're on the radio, but we don't listen to the radio. We don't listen to you unless we listen to a clip on YouTube or something.
But you know what, though?
So,
But you also got to remember where he's at.
But that's what I'm saying.
Hot 97.
He's
and all
at
those
the
places.
radio, but
Yeah,
he's
those-
but
New York radio is still a factor
no.
for a lot
He
of.
he thinks it is,
And,
but
and their curators are from New York. The Apple curator is Ebro, right? So he runs Apple Music.
nobody's listening to the radio.
I get it.
Nobody
But
listens to the radio.
They're
niggas
not.
when
So
they, but
I just think that comment was so out of touch that it made him look stupid. Now, I think that's a fair question to ask. Can Drake take it to another level? But at this point in Drake's career, I don't think he needs to take it to another level. I don't think Drake is in that conversation where he's trying to compete with other people no more.
No.
Drake is competing with himself.
Period.
And the bottom line is Certified Lover
these
Boy
are facts.
is going to be an album that is going to mainly be, I think we talked about the track list before. It is going to be I don't want to say classic, but it's going to be a typical
Statement.
Drake album that is going to
Listen.
be vulnerable.
Listen.
It is going to be catered to the women.
Listen.
There's going to be bops. There's going to
Listen.
be vibes. There's going to be
Listen.
quotables.
Listen.
We are going to get a
We already
typical
know.
Drake album.
Let me ask
And
a
you know what?
question.
And you know what? I'm gonna say this.
What's a bad Drake album?
What? Scorpio had
Scorpion.
Scorpion, excuse
And you
me.
lying.
That jaded. You crazy.
General public, there was a lot of people that did
Bro.
that. No, they had their lights on it, but as a double album, it was not received as well as people thought it was going to be.
A lot of people said that they felt like they was glad that he was. Oh, I'm so glad he's back to rapping.
Right.
Because after the what's the one before
More
that?
Life?
No,
not
the other one.
Not Take Care.
Views from the Six.
Views from the Six. Yeah,
People
yeah.
felt the way about that one. So for them, they was like, oh, he back. You know what I'm saying? On his rap hype.
Yeah.
So
You're
I
not
mean,
gonna shit
I
on
don't know what you
Scorpion.
talking about.
Well, I'm just going based on what I was hearing from the public, and from the public, they were expecting more from Drake. And what I'm gonna say is, can't play that, bro.
Yeah, we can.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we can't. No, you can't.
I just wanted to let
What
you
I'm
know
gonna-
that was on there. and
I know
that's
there was
hit.
some bops on there, but as far as the project goes, I'm just speaking. I think that this will be reminiscent back to Take Care days.
And yeah, and it's to me like Drake is always a movement. Like literally, you couldn't go nowhere without hearing "Kiki, do you love?" Like, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be challenges. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you can't deny Drake. Like, and he's been consistently
Mhm.
being the wave like for a long time now.
He's
And
the
you
sta-
gonna
he's the-
try to-
He's the standard,
Yeah,
Man.
well, and you got to understand too the timing of it too. So,
bro. If you
it's-
had
it's-
100,000, you get Drake on a record, you're famous.
yeah, well, and
Because I
think-
didn't know who Lil Baby was, so he did the song with Drake.
Neither did
Sorry,
JB
I'm
Block
not
Boy.
lying.
You didn't know JB Block Boy. You didn't know Fetty Wap.
He did a song with Drake, and I was like, "Oh, I like him."
Fetty Wap. Fetty Wap.
He does introduce a lot of artists to the masses commercially. A lot of times he does that because there's a wave
Mike
of
Zombie.
them
Zombie on the
before.
track.
I
Stop
didn't
with
know.
it.
What
I
was
didn't
it
know
that
who
Wayne
the City
said?
Girls was.
Got Drake on the
No,
track.
no.
Girls,
I know.
Mike Zombie on the track.
Well, and then
Started from
I
the
think,
bottom.
I
Now we
think
hit you, man.
him. I think him releasing his album closer to Valentine's Day is smart marketing. It was supposed to come out in the summer, but it got pushed back, obviously because of the reason why.
Well, I won't be putting my album out on Valentine's Day. Tell you that.
I feel like
Well, no, it's-
I
I
feel
think it's
like
supposed to come out in
summertime.
January.
We ready for Drake because Drake gon', you know
for
what I
the
mean?
turn up, but because of the
That's actually
pandemic,
a
there
good
was no
idea.
turn
Maybe
up.
I'll make
It
some
wasn't
love
no turn
songs
up.
real quick.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll hit Drake and just spend the money.
So my thought of what Charlamagne said.
Oh, we forgot about BJ.
Right. You know,
No, we didn't forget.
I
We
get
didn't
to
forget.
chime in now. I see his point. I see his point because you have heard Drake try different sounds.
Mhm.
Right? He's tried the
reggae.
the reggae. You know what I mean? He tried something in some
The
London type
grunge
shit
or whatever
right?
it's called.
He tried that,
Mhm.
right? So it's not like he's trying to it's not like he's not trying to do other things. You know what I mean? So when you see somebody who's trying to dabble in other lanes, they're trying to find something else because they themselves feel like they are not, I don't want to say plateauing, but they don't want to keep doing the same thing.
I don't think Drake feels like he's plateauing at all.
I feel like he's just
making music.
He's just doing it for fun at this point.
Yeah.
But
he ain't got to make another album if he didn't want to.
Well,
honestly.
I think it's strategic. I think it's him. He ties himself to a movement
Every
and
time.
then that movement gets
Because when he
bigger.
got WizKid, right? When you mess with WizKid and he got the whole dance hall, right? So he is a very, very, very smart man.
Well, and people got to realize it's not just Drake. It's Apple. It's
Drake,
OVO. It's Universal. He has like
40,
3 or 4 major companies behind him. So at this point, the Drake that had the BlackBerry that was rapping, that's not who you're listening to anymore. You are listening to basically
You're listening to the machine.
to an industry.
You're listening to the
You are
machine.
listening to a whole industry that's behind him. So he is going to get behind whatever's going to move the most records. But it's still Drake, and you still are going to get. And I think this album will go back to what we love Drake for, which is the love, vulnerable, open, around Valentine's Day,
Bro,
quotable Drake.
That's my favorite kind of music.
Yeah. Well, and that's
gonna
what
be
we
some
and
quotables.
that's what we love Drake for. So
That's my favorite kind of music.
I
And
get
we
what
been stuck
Charlamagne
in
was
the
saying.
house. We all in our feelings. We ready.
I'm about to my whole next album is gonna be Obsessed, like songs from Obsessed,
Yeah.
because I know that how that made people feel. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And I also think that Drake had to release it because if he would have held it back anymore, it would have sounded dated. And I think he wouldn't have wanted to release it. So
Like Wayne's album.
yeah, because I think he's been waiting, thinking the pandemic was going to clear up, and it's just not. So you might as well just drop it.
yeah,
You're gonna get paid.
I mean,
regardless.
like I said, a lot of people wasn't dropping music because they wasn't going to be able to tour.
Right.
same thing with
And
movies.
that's their money right there. That's
Facts.
majority.
Yeah.
It's
Because they have
touring.
these bad deals.
Come on.
You have to tour.
Yep.
And even then, now
Not
they're
me.
taking money from the touring.
Yeah, well, not me.
Yeah.
Set my own tour.
Right.
That's
You
why
get,
people
get all your
over
own
there
money.
touring got 300 show dates in a year.
So when does it come out?
From what I was reading, January of 2021. So sometime this
Okay.
month. I believe it's probably going to come out later this month.
Like the 23rd.
Probably.
I don't
That's
know
my
what that
guess.
has
A
on.
little bit
That
closer to
lasts on
Valentine's
Saturday.
Day. That's
Okay.
what
He gonna have us in our feelings, right on
I'm
time.
in my feelings.
All right,
That's
so
no excuse. You still need to stay in the house.
thank you, Photo P.
Photo pizza the second power.
But, speaking of being in our feelings,
Uh-oh.
Tyrese,
Uh-oh.
Cryreese, excuse me.
I did with my baby. Did we talk about him last time?
I mean, we sure did.
Well, we talked about it because of the
talked
anime.
Nah, we
Animaniacs.
spoke him into existence.
We
bro.
really did.
We
Yeah.
did.
We
spoke
really
him
We
talked
did
his
that
up.
for you.
So yeah, he had a rough week. Is he's getting divorced?
To say the least.
Is he getting divorced?
Well, that's not what happened first. First, his reins got stolen, right?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes. So his Range Rover got stolen. He left the keys
Did it get stolen?
in the
Oh, yeah,
right.
that
I'm like,
part.
that don't make no sense.
It
and
was
then he
taken,
bailed
not
out the
stolen. It was
then
taken.
he bailed out the dudes that stole it.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you that was supposed to be a social media play for forgiveness,
It was.
and he was supposed to get praise.
And he didn't.
Well,
Yeah.
because it's hard to. Well, okay, look. So if me
I
or
was too confusion.
so if one of us did that, we don't have the terrible social media history, right? So if we did that, then people would be like, man, that's great. You made a mistake. They took the car. You forgave. Yada yada. But for Tyrese, we're like, bro, you're a bonehead. You know what I mean? That's
Doing
how.
it for attention. like they
Yeah,
always do.
everything. So that is exactly. We. I hate to use this as an example, but we treat Tyrese like Aisha Curry.
oh my god.
But whatever they
shit.
do, it's
No
not
comment.
good enough.
Oh,
It's not
shit.
good enough.
We treat Tyrese like he's Bow Wow.
Bruh.
Fuck.
Bow Wow gets dragged. He can't do shit.
He Bow Wow
Aisha
can't do
Curry,
nothing.
He
Aisha
can't do
Curry,
nothing.
Tyrese, and Bow
They
Wow.
can't
You're
do
right.
nothing. It's
Lil Mama.
everybody's super critical of everything they do. Oh, Lil Mama too.
Lil-
Well, you know what? Whoa, hold on. Lil Mama, I've seen her get props as of late,
Okay, I haven't.
but she was out of pocket.
she was. And I mean that was so many years ago, but
It
it was
was.
so out of pocket.
It was. You know what? And it's funny that we were talking about Charlamagne. I think when that Breakfast Club interview aired,
Mhm.
that's what got people to feel bad for her
Yep.
because how he was just berating her, and we were like, "Bruh, like you out of pocket."
I remember that.
Charlotte may be out of pocket.
Bro, that was definitely out of pocket.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, so
he's a killer.
He's gotten better.
When you get an interview with him and he doesn't like you, you just pray it doesn't happen.
Well, you can tell when he's looking for something to go viral. He'll push the line for sure.
Well, Birdman gave it to him,
man,
and he wasn't looking for that.
No, he was. No, I don't think anybody was looking for that.
Hell no.
Soldier Boy gave it
Look,
to him too. Nobody's looking for that.
No one
either.
looked for that either. That's true.
nobody expected him to go up there and just Drake. Like nobody was expecting that.
That's one of my go-to gifts. When
the
I'm
nigga
talking
from
to
DeGeneres. I'm like,
The nigga
why
from
did he say
DeGeneres.
DeGeneres?
DeGeneres.
Hey, but we
Bro.
learned a lot about Soulja. We learned that a lot of those Drake songs came from Soulja Boy.
Nah, I think we already knew that.
I think a lot of people learned that a lot of those songs from Jake came from Soulja Boy.
Yeah. Well, okay, so he got his Range Rover stolen,
Yes,
right.
number
and
one,
then he got it back,
got it back,
bailed him out.
All right, good
got
for
him
him.
out.
Good heart.
That was just dumb.
That was a bad start to the week.
That was just
Okay.
dumb.
Wasn't.
Just
And then after that, that's when he had the whole situation of him basically saying like, how do you expect me to be a good husband when I never had an example of a good husband?
Oh,
I'm
my
gonna
God.
read it. I'm gonna read it.
That's basically in a nutshell what he said.
You know how little accountability you take when you write shit like that? Nigga, you are 40 something.
Hold on, can we read what he said? We're gonna talk about it. So before that, they both announced on Tyrese's page that Samantha Gibson and Tyrese Gibson were going to get a divorce. They've been married for 4 to 5 years, and they both announced that they said they're going to be the best of friends, they're going to work things out, be the best co-parents, etc., 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 etc. Then Tyrese posts this.
He could have just left it there
He could have.
That was fine.
But
in Tyrese
Nope.
fashion.
Tyrese fashion. I got something to say.
That nigga was playing. When he wrote that, the music in the background was like, "How you gonna act like that?"
All right, I'm going to read what Tyrese posted on his Instagram. I think he actually posted it under her Instagram too.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I think he did. If I'm wrong,
Wait, as a comment?
this is a podcast. So we're all wrong at some point in time. Black families and marriages are under attack. ... Pain got me back in the Holy Grail, in quotations, the studio. There's no album coming. This was inspired by the love of my life, Samantha. So this was a song. Thank you for the years. I hope you know that I did my very best I could. I truly did. Hashtag better days. I've wrestled with this question. How can we naturally know how to be something we were never raised by? Most of us were raised in broken homes with no examples of what being a husband, wife, or a father is. ... I repeat, ... How can we naturally know how to be something we were never raised by? My heart is so full because you're blessed with me. You've blessed me with 5 years of magic. Samantha Gibson, I owe you everything. I am a better man of God, friend, and a father because of you. I pray we leave the door open because the God that we serve is a mountain mover and can make a way out of no way. My booby buddy, your forever husband, King Gibson.
Shut the fuck up.
So,
Something about Tyrese.
You know what I was doing?
Makes me feel like
I was
he
deleting
is very
emails when you were
manipulative.
reading that because I'm so tired of Tyrese.
I feel like something about him just it seems like he's very manipulative and
Nigga hella toxic.
narcissistic. Yeah, and
Nigga
toxic
hella
as fuck.
toxic.
You know what I'm
Hella
saying? That
toxic.
just be on it. You got all these beautiful words for the internet, and it seems like that's definitely probably not who he is in real life. And as a person, if you've ever been in a relationship with somebody like that,
It's the worst.
bruh,
Right. He uses
they
Vaseline for his
always the
tears instead.
victim. They always got. It's so weird. Like they try to manipulate people to see a certain version of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really how he seems. I mean, I hate to make, grand assumptions about people, but
No, I know what you're saying.
I just get that vibe.
Yep.
I do not like the fact that he took no accountability for his actions. We all know where we came from. You know what I'm saying? I know I know that I'm not the greatest person all the time, and I know that I haven't been a good person all the time. But at some point in your life, you have to take responsibility for the relationships and how your relationships shape up, right? And after all the things that I've been through, you know, I could say, you know, I'll tell my ex-wife all the time, I have responsibilities in this divorce. But now the conversations we have are, this is how I grew up and this is what I learned.
Right.
And if I would have been able to see these things at that age, then these decisions wouldn't have been made because
Right.
my understanding is different.
Right.
So if you want to give accountability to where you come from, you got to do it like that, right? You got to say, yo, I did this because I learned this, but I had a responsibility to go back and to fix this, and I failed to do so. You don't get to blame other people for the actions in the course of action you failed to take. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't have any accountability. And to be fair, this is the only podcast I ever hear talk about that kind of stuff, about the historical nature of, like I said, the relationship between a mom and a dad, or
Right.
father and a son, or a daughter and a mother, and vice versa, however the family structure works. But not coming from a successful family construct, it doesn't justify you being a dickhead your whole life.
Yeah.
Facts.
It's the same thing that we say when it's like, you know, you might not be responsible for what was done to you, but the healing is your responsibility.
Facts.
You gotta do the work.
You grown now, and you have to live your life. So you got to get that together. Like that can't be your excuse at 40 something. You know what I mean? But I hope you get it together.
Me too. Niggas is lightweight tired of talking about Tyrese.
Well, you know what? I think it does bring up a bigger conversation, because the question he asked is, how can we naturally know how to be something we were never raised by? And the issue that I have with Tyrese asking this is that he has a habit of making his problem our problem.
Yep. Yep.
We don't need to figure this shit out for you.
You want to attach yourself to everybody else. The same thing with the Fast and the Furious. When he had an issue with The Rock, he was like, "Oh, we don't like that you have a spinoff, and we don't like it. We don't like." You can't speak on we. You need to speak for yourself. And if you're speaking for yourself, you can't sit here and ask a question, how can we naturally know? Well, a lot of people have figured it out, Tyrese.
For real.
A lot of people have. And they've done it with less resources.
Ooh.
So you've been to therapy, because I think I read a post that you said that you've, outside of the therapy, outside of the work that you've done, that you guys have decided to get a divorce. So
that means you weren't applying what was needed.
You
to be
have the
applied.
resources.
Right. And the money to have the resources.
And the time.
And
you
the
were
time.
married for 4 to 5 years. So you know what you were missing. You just don't want to do the work.
You don't want to do the work, sir.
You don't want to do
That's
the work.
what I said. So you got to take accountability.
You got to
bro.
take accountability.
You got to be man enough to be like, yo, it's my fault.
No.
Or sometimes certain shit is just beyond repair.
That's true.
But
you might, you know.
But it's still your fault that it got there.
Well, and the way I read this, and I might be assuming, but it's a podcast, so I'm going to assume. The way I read it, it sounded like that he cheated.
I'm not going to assume what
I can't assume that. And again, but I just the verbiage and just how men talk. I've been around men all my life. To say I owe you everything and you may be a better man, a better this, a better that, a better.
Yeah, it sounds like the fault is his.
It sounds like that
yeah.
Whether it was cheating or not, that you're the one that was accountable for the reason of it not working out.
Yeah. Well, once that happens, I always tell these niggas like this, bro, and this is from experience. If you go back into a relationship that you fucked up in, that's harder to repair than anything.
Yeah.
And you got to do all the work, because whatever you do is going to trigger her to feel like you still acting like that.
Well, and to your point, he left it open. He said, I pray that the doors open because the God that we serve moves mountains.
Facts.
So I didn't see none of that on her side.
Facts. Well, she's not gonna.
She's not.
She's not gonna.
She
like,
really
she's like, I hope that you have more back from your child support, because I'm taking some.
Well, and I thought about, and I thought this for a long time. There's something wrong with Tyrese.
I felt that with the first situation with his first baby mama, as far as like the custody situation, and people was like, you know, of course men always want to feel away when they feel like a child is being kept from the father, but I'm like, bruh, some of these dudes be very emotionally abusive, sometimes even physically abusive, and they're very manipulative, you know what I mean, and how they position themselves and how they look in the public. So with that situation and then this, it's kind of like, to me, like lining up.
You're very emotionally unstable.
Right.
That's what I've seen from
I don't
Tyrese.
like when people call men emotional, but this is that.
Well, no, you can be emotional, but don't be emotionally unstable.
I understand but
Because
it's like the worst
all
thing
over
to
the
be called.
place.
It's like the worst thing to be called as a man.
Yeah.
You know what I
Very
mean?
emotional.
Yeah.
And it's like,
But-
what the hell
It's
you want
supposed
me
to be
do?
emotional.
But
Everybody.
We're emotional
but
beings.
I do agree. I
Unless
think
you're a
that,
psychopath.
Right.
well,
I mean,
I'm not really emotional, but
He says with that smile on his face.
but I do. Tyrese has to be man enough to take accountability. This is the reason why I feel bad. I feel bad for him in a sense, because this is the same way that he did The Rock. This is the same way that he's handled his baby mom. And
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
right. So this is Tyrese, bro.
Yes.
So if all your relationships are panning out in the same exact result, are we blaming the relationships? Or are we blaming you? Right? If the if you're the only one that's having lash outs, if you're the only one that's running to social media to lash out, and you're the only one that's having these grandiose problems and you have to be seen, is it because Tyrese was grown up in an environment where he was by himself and everything he wanted he got? Is that it? Is he such a mama's boy that is he such a mama's boy that if things don't go his way he throws tantrums?
Right.
Is it, because this is how I'm thinking.
That's
about
what it feels. That's what it feels like. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are you so self-centered and are you so fucking arrogant that if things don't go your way that you have to lash out because you need people to validate how you feel because you haven't been able to foundationally handle what you're going through,
Or
right?
side with you. That's what it feels like. He's looking for people to side with him.
because
exactly.
because
he needs
because
that validation.
because to me
And
it's-
the person
right.
that is on the other end is like,
Nah,
y'all really
fam.
don't know the truth. You know what I'm saying?
fam.
That's so frustrating to
Nah,
see
fam.
people positioning themselves to try to get.
Well, because now he wants to play the victim,
Yes.
and it's like
Exactly.
in all these situations he ends up playing the victim, right?
Yes.
But you take she's not asking for $13,000 in child support because you're a great father.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there are cases that does happen.
Right.
Right. But we know your life, bro. You're doing movies, you're doing music. You don't have a lot of time to take care of those children and be in those kids' lives. Right. So if you in fact want to change that, then you hire a nanny or somebody that can run around with you and you can have the kids when you're supposed to have the kids.
Yes.
I
Right.
feel like it reminds me of that one dude that was with the girl from America's Next Top Model. Yeah, them songs with Chris Brown.
Kevin McCall.
Yes,
I
yeah.
love-
Remember
I love
his
that
his
dude.
whole situation. I feel like it's really reminiscent of the same thing of just being emotionally.
I remember that vaguely. I would have to go back and revisit that.
He was,
But I
he
do
was the
remember that was
same
some
way.
drama. There was some
He was
drama.
the same way with the internet, with these grand gestures and all of these like.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You know what? At one of these shows soon, I think that's another good conversation to have is if you are mentally unhealthy to the point where, and I'm not a psychologist or a therapist, I don't know what diagnosis it would be called, but there are people that will not take responsibility or they think it's never their fault. How do you help somebody that never takes accountability in therapy?
You don't. You can't.
There has to be some methods.
Shit, a lot of times the
you-
method is separating
Well,
yourself.
no, I'm talking about like if
Seriously.
you're going to therapy in itself teaches you to take accountability and
That's
to take
really- that's
inventory.
really- that's-
but
that's
if you
basic.
are mentally, if you are dealing with a mental illness where in itself you do not take accountability or you do not see it being your fault, how do you know what I mean? How does that get fixed?
That person has to get out of that themselves. They can't. They're not going to be able to see it when somebody else is saying it.
But
'Cause
but if somebody's, I'm going to say, if you're dealing with a mental illness where that is one of the symptoms that, like, because I know in some, and again, I'm not a therapist, so I got this wrong. Please forgive me. In some forms of bipolarism, that is one of the symptoms that you will live in a euphoric state where you do not think that you are responsible or you did not do anything wrong.
Oh well, I mean, with those types of things, there's talk therapy, but there's also
Like medication and stuff. Yeah.
come on.
So, but if you're not taking your medication or if you're not keeping up with the,
Bro, the best
It's a lot of
the best
different things that go into it.
Yeah.
Man, you have to take time but I think when those situations come up, I think that I think that you got to break down the history of where that person's coming from. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the reason why validation is so important to him and not taking accountability is because that's where he comes from.
Right.
Right. So you have to take him down the road of that, and whoever made him feel like this is what life is about, you have to then break down what they were going through. Because then you got to find all the paths, all the roads. Right.
Right.
So for myself, the thing that really helped me a lot was my mom and my dad. Right. I compare a lot of the stuff that I've gone through compared to the things that I've seen my mom and dad go through.
Right.
Be it they've been married for 33 years, right? Because they stuck through it, right? But there's a lot of shit that they've dealt with that I would never.
But I think, but that would kind of go to what he's saying, though. He's saying, how can I naturally know how to be something that I was never raised
I took
by?
Accountability and I went and figured it out, like you said.
Right.
You got to do that. I feel like it's just like that post that was on the
There's
Reverb
mentors,
Nation.
bro. There's mentors.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely
books.
resources
There's
for sure.
mentors.
Yeah.
There's
Come on.
mentors. There's people that you can go, like I said, I went to therapy, but I applied it.
Right.
I went to,
That's why I didn't agree with that
gotta
post
want
that was
to.
like, find
Yeah.
somebody that's going to help you unpack. And it
No.
had all the different shit.
No, yeah.
This is the shit that we was talking about. This
Yes.
is why we said
See, I hated
you have
that post.
to unpack your
I hated
shit
that post.
yourself.
I'm
'Cause
not.
It's not somebody else's job.
Prior to getting into a relationship.
Facts, because I'm not, nigga, I don't work for FedEx. I don't work for UPS. I'm not unpacking your shit and helping you fucking sort it out,
Facts.
bro. That's
Yeah.
not my job.
Facts.
It's a certain place you have to be at.
Facts. A
You know what I
relationship
mean?
is a relationship to me is you are to enhance my life as I enhance your life. That's so I use the analogy this for relationships. Everybody's an island, right? And what you put on your island, you're gonna bring your island and you're gonna build a greater. You're gonna make a continent.
I got you.
You understand what I'm saying? You have an island here and an island here. An island has to have a foundation. It has to be stable. It has to be self-serving. It has to know the goods and the bads, the pros and the cons, right? That's what makes it function. Everything that we deal with isn't always good, but we have solutions for those things in place. You know what I'm saying? I have a baby mom. You know what I did with my baby mom? Our relationship is solid. Right? We hang out with the kids. We do family things with the kids.
Right.
So when I'm in a relationship, that's not a problem.
Right.
Because I accounted for that for my relationship.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
So I would only date someone that had their situation with them. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to deal with that.
Right.
Because that's what my choice.
It's still baggage, but it's
It's
baggage
still-
that you accounted for.
It's baggage that I accounted for.
And that's why I say everybody has baggage, but there's different places that you could be in, especially with a lot of the things that was on those lists. Because I feel like some things aren't necessarily like, life is a journey. It's not a destination. So you don't just get to this place where you're,
And then you're good.
baggage free
Yeah.
or you ain't got no issues.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but it's about where you are in that journey. Like, do you have coping mechanisms
Yes.
in place? Do you
Yes.
have, you know what I mean? If you're not to that place,
Yeah.
bruh, nobody can help you.
That's true.
You know, that's facts.
I think that's what Photo
That's
B
what
was
he's
saying.
saying.
Nobody can help
You have to want to do it, because I could have when things with my baby mom were bad, I could have just swept that under the rug. And then as soon as I brought a chick around, right?
You
then
have to deal with
then
it.
I have to deal with it, right? So let me deal with the stuff on my island, and you deal with yours, and then we can enhance each other. I'm not saying that you don't have baggage,
Right.
but it's not my job. I'm not a therapist.
Right.
It's not my job to fix you. Why should I have to fix you? And we're 30 years old,
Right.
just so I can have a relationship with you.
And how can you help somebody unpack something they're not ready to unpack?
Bruh. Because you know what they're gonna do when you talk about it? They're gonna fight you.
Yep.
Or leave.
Or
After they
sometimes
fight
you don't
you.
have. Sometimes you don't necessarily have the tools.
To deal with it. Yeah.
You know what I
Bingo.
mean? Like
Bingo.
it's not necessarily like everybody's not.
therapist?
They're not. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, maybe some people don't know a lot about anxiety. They don't know a lot about
true.
depression. So sometimes people really don't have the tools to help you.
That's true. Yeah. And like sometimes
And
you
if
don't
you're
even
if you're
recognize
trying to measure how much they love you by how much abuse they will take because of your
Ooh, you got
flaws,
shit fucked up. You got it fucked up.
That's true.
don't
Yeah.
do that to people.
No, no.
And for Tyrese, like to
Oof.
me, it's kind of a simple answer. If you don't have a healthy marriage that you saw growing up, then you seek a healthy marriage that then you can then get advice from. Like you should always do that, whether it be money, whether it be relationships, whether it be spirituality. You find somebody that has gone, that is where you want
Where
to
you
be,
want to be in life.
and then have them mentor you.
Ta-da.
There's too much knowledge, information out there
Yeah.
that you have too much money to not be able to have access.
Too many
to.
resources.
Way
Shit,
too
even
many
just the
resources.
internet.
Facts.
Fuck the money. Just get on the internet, my nigga.
Well, he's on the internet quite often.
Right.
For the
You
wrong
could have took that same question.
For the wrong reason.
Nigga, you could have took that same question and put it in Google.
Facts. I hate people who do that shit on Facebook. Hey, how do you do this? Google that shit.
Put that same question in Google, bro.
Because if
I'm gonna do the same thing.
Because if you was trying to figure out if I was cheating, you'd be running down my page.
Yeah, that shit.
Give the same energy to yourself.
What time does the total wine close? Google
Nigga.
it.
Google it. Google wine. Google wine. Google wine total.
You totally bypassed your search bar on your phone.
Right.
Opened up Facebook and asked us when does total wine close.
And then have to wait for a response.
It's gonna be closed by the time somebody comes back.
Right. They gonna get get the same answer that somebody got off of Google.
The problem with us is we're all go getters, so we don't have these problems between ourselves, right?
You ain't got to get a go getter to search.
No,
Be resourceful.
No, shit just happens. This is boom, boom, boom. We know it's gonna get done, right?
Yeah.
There are people that literally cannot function without somebody giving them instructions.
And you know what? And
that's true.
And I do want to give. I do want to talk on the other side of the coin that. In some instances, I know that you do not recognize it because you're not aware. You don't have the information. Like with depression, as you know, with black men just in general, and with not just black men, just black people in general, anxiety, depression, and things like that. Sometimes you've dealt with it your whole entire life, and you don't recognize it because it becomes so normal.
It's normalized.
Yeah.
So then when somebody comes across and they point it out to you, then it's like it kind of opens up a whole new world to you. So there are times when you do get into a relationship and you don't realize you have baggage in areas until somebody else points it out and says, look, hey, that's not normal. And then you do have to deal with it. But again, you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
They may support you in it, but that's not their responsibility to help you unpack.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say
he was raising his hands for anybody who
I just
was just listening.
I just wanted to say that this is not that. When you can,
I know.
When you
I
can
know.
go write a paragraph about why you couldn't do the things that you should do, it's because you're totally aware that there was some work that you should have done that you didn't do, but you wanted to blame other people for why you didn't do it.
Make sense.
But it's also in hindsight. It's
What?
also after the divorce has already been talked about and
The only
finalized.
reason why the only reason why he cares now to bring it up, because he cared then. He cared then.
Right.
He just didn't care enough to do the work. He thought she was going to deal with his bullshit because he's Tyrese.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying, though, but I think his reflection came after the divorce.
Bro,
it's just like that.
Go deal with it on your own.
Did you guys see the that clip where the dad went viral where he was like, oh, I bring home the bills and I pay this, whatever. And he was on Ayana, and basically, like, it had to be spelled out to him that being a man is not only just going to work and bringing home the money.
Mm-hmm.
And for his point, he was like, well, that's what I didn't have that growing up. And I thought all around me, that's all I saw. So I thought that was the definition of a man. And then his kids and his wife are basically saying, you're not present. You're not there. You yell at us. You're mad. You're this. We appreciate that, but that's not what we need. So I think, again, sometimes you need somebody to point it out to you because you think it's normal.
Yeah.
For him, a man provide. That's it.
Do you think that somebody files a divorce after 4 or 5 years and they didn't have that conversation a billion times?
But you have to come to that realization yourself.
Right. So even still.
Yeah.
No, I understand what you're saying. And I'm not saying it in Tyrese's standpoint. I'm saying in general that sometimes you don't have the realization that you need to do the work until it's finalized, until somebody leaves. Because a lot of times it's, oh, they're not going to leave. Oh, they're just, they're just fussing. They're just arguing.
Selfish as fuck.
It is. But some people need that realization, and that's why you got to set hardcore boundaries.
How many people
sometimes.
does he have to lose? See,
More.
This is my more. This is the thing about the previous situations with his baby mom, and that's why I brought it up.
Yeah,
because this is a repetitive theme for Tyrese.
Because he's not willing to take the accountability.
It doesn't matter if he was married. He knew it before he got married that he needed to take accountability because he dealt with it with The Rock, and before The Rock, he dealt with it with his baby mom.
But he's in a space, and that was a question that we had. He's in a space where he does not think that he did anything wrong, or he felt like maybe he grew enough to make things work.
That's a dangerous person.
It is.
Well,
and that's why he needs some time to heal alone.
I think the problem is people people always give themselves way more grace than they willing to give other
Facts.
people. And it's like, you know
That's
what
a
your
bar.
issue is, but you give yourself so much grace.
That's facts.
But let the shoe be on the other foot.
Yeah.
You would have been out.
But I think this is what is the difference when we talked about earlier between me and most people. If
Yeah.
I'm doing something, I'm okay with you doing the same thing because I understand that you might be impacted by it, right? You have to be able to live that life. If you're going to be a dirtbag or a dickhead or you're going to be rude and abusive, then you better be able to take that shit when they leave. I hope that your ego is strong as my fallback. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be that way, right? If you're not willing to change, then you gotta be willing to live with the results of what you're doing. Don't get online crying. Don't bullshit. Don't tell people that, I need you guys to validate my thoughts. You gotta live that life. If you want to treat people however you want to treat them and they continue to leave, stop going online begging for them to come back.
You need to deal with yourself because the common denominator in all of those
It's
scenarios
Tyrese.
is you. And I think what Steph said is right on point. That you give yourself more grace than you give anybody
Facts.
else because in your mind you're able to rationalize your own actions. Other people you can't do that. You only just see what it is. It's just black and white. In your mind, I did this because, and in his mind, I didn't have a father growing up or blah 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 blah
Or
blah.
this was,
so how
this
can
was
you?
my intention.
Yeah. So how can you hold me accountable for something that I was never taught?
I don't like that shit.
Yeah, I don't like it either. So that brings us into the
Trash.
segment.
Bro, this one's super simple. You got your stimulus?
Not yet.
You got your stimulus?
Hell no.
You got your stimulus? Me too. I don't know how I got one, but I got one. Thank you, Jesus. Mitch McConnell, you were trash as fuck, sir, for denying the people the $2,000 over and over and over and over again. Yo, I read an article that if they gave us $600, it was equivalent to $1.42 per American since the pandemic started. $1.42 a day. And that was 2 weeks ago. So it's even less when we got the $600.
Oh, I saw they said for $1.42.
Yeah.
Sponsor American.
They sponsor American. God damn, they likened us to Somalian children.
God damn. I said, I can't believe
Bro,
this.
but the fact that you are blocking the stimulus package because you want to do a president reelect, trash as fuck. People are dying. People are starving. $600, yes, we're grateful because we need it. It's a necessity, out of necessity, bro. We'll take $20 at this point, right? But the fact that you don't want to spend enough money to impact other people's, to impact us so we can live is fucking trash. One of his arguments where he didn't want to get people that made over 600,000, 6 figures, money, so on and so forth. But bro, at this point, that shit doesn't matter. That's less than
Everybody's affected.
That's less than 1% of the population, bro. It's such a small percentage. Did you guys see the video where he laughed? Where there was a video where he laughed where the lady was like, people are being affected, and he was like, you know what I'm saying?
He's so trash.
But he's fucking trash, bro.
If you listening to this podcast and you in Georgia,
please. We cannot have another loose neck, turkey goblin, gizzard eating. God damn, this nigga looks like every Loch Ness monster ever drawn, bro. Anyway, he's trash.
He's definitely trash.
He's trash as well. G-Focus is in his bag right now.
No, I was looking for what Bernie Sanders said.
He's trash.
He had tweeted it back in it. But I think that the comment that made me the most pissed off was when he said that he rejected the $2,000 stimulus because he's not into giving he's not into having socialism for rich people.
For rich people.
But look at the fucking tax cuts.
Yes.
The tax breaks that these damn people have.
Yes.
I can't believe it.
Millions and billions
Because
in tax breaks.
when he said that, bro, he wasn't telling the truth.
Not at all.
He was lying.
It's not about us. It's not about the people.
It's not about the people.
It's not about the people.
So that's another point that I should have brought up. But yeah, he did say that.
Well, and then
But even if we did the math right for a rich person that made $350,000 or whatever, and they had like 4 kids, if they did it like that, they would still only get one $2,000 check, right? Because they're out of, if they did parameters, they have the ability to set parameters on that kind of stuff. The math is not that hard. Mitch McConnell just doesn't give a fuck.
Exactly.
right. Well, and so my thing of it is so how is $1,200 not socialism?
Facts.
But then $2,000 is.
Is socialism.
So $800 makes a difference between socialism and capitalism. So, and if that's socialism, then what are we talking about these tax breaks?
Come on.
And the fact that I just read this week that we fund the Congress's retirement.
Facts.
So not only do they get a 401k, they also get a pension. So they
Facts.
double dip on their retirement.
Facts. Well, I do too. So
They're millionaires. No. But you don't. But we don't fund your 401k.
that's facts. I
Exactly.
fund my own.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We fund your 401k and your pension.
Yeah.
So if you don't like socialism, then why are we funding your retirement?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the socialism is not impacting his life personally.
Hypocrite.
Facts.
Straight up.
Straight up.
The fact that we are still in a pandemic proves so much about the American Congress.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
My God.
The fact that we're having a new strain of the virus that's killing
They
people
don't
now.
give a fuck.
The fact that we just had a nurse that works in ER do a COVID test and take the vaccine 8 days ago, and yesterday they were diagnosed with COVID.
Well, I mean, is almost like a flu shot, right?
I'm gonna tell you what.
It's where they give it to
Don't
you like a
stick
week
no
strain.
foreign shit in anybody, and they still get the fucking disease.
That's like the flu shot.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
We'll have to get
Crazy.
somebody who has a little
'Cause-
more knowledge on that.
Crazy.
Because from what I heard was after you take the shot, because there's two. Well,
There's two shots.
There's
It's a two-part.
Well, there's two vaccines. There's a one from Moderna and one from Pfizer.
Because one of them has just the protein.
One
that
of
they
them
learn how to break
is
down.
2 and one of them is 1. But there's like a week between after you take the shot that you can still contract the virus. So I think the guy that got it after he took the shot got it within that time frame. But
You were talking about the one that was the fake pump? With the fake,
Oh,
with
the fake
with-
needle.
Yeah,
The fake.
yeah.
Yeah, I
oh
saw
my
it.
gosh.
I saw it.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell's trash. I got a feeling he may be on the list again.
Bitch McConnell. And,
Run me my money.
Mitch's ain't shit. All right.
Mitch's ain't shit.
So we want to thank everybody for listening. We want to thank everybody for checking in to season 2. Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, etc., etc., etc. We appreciate you guys. We want to also thank you guys for having our backs and making our season 1 such an amazing coming out party.
Yeah.
We
This is to
were
y'all.
one of the best podcasts of 2020.
Yeah.
And before we go, I think we talked about this group chat. New Year's resolutions. Do we have any New Year's resolutions before we go?
I just don't want to get COVID.
I feel you.
Heard that.
I feel you.
But other than that, man, I'm gonna do what I've been doing because it's been working.
Okay.
I don't have a resolution, but my word of the year is fearless. That's how I'm trying to move.
You know what? That's crazy because I did pick a word of the year and I started working on it a couple months ago, but it's undeniable.
Mm.
Because I want to the way I was telling people, I tell people around me, like, if you want to do something, make sure that you have all the prerequisites done and make sure whatever you do that you're just not accepted at doing it, but you're undeniable. Do things to the best of your ability so that nobody can take it away from you. So that's my word of the year.
Fearless, undeniable. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any resolutions. Just respect me.
Ooh, put some respect on his
some
name.
respect on my
his
name.
Photo B, photo P. All
Hey,
of them. All the names.
Hey, who
Put
was
some
that? Who
respect
was
on
that to a certain individual?
No. But you should definitely respect me any fucking way.
Oh.
Did you look at the camera?
I'm looking at the camera.
Oh my God. They gave this nigga a bag.
Where you at, Rob?
New Year's resolution. You know what? I don't usually do New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
I usually will fast, get spiritually right at the beginning of the year. I think my focus is just getting better every day. That's just what it goes down to.
It's the same shit we've been doing, right?
Same stuff
Yeah.
we've been doing.
Yeah.
I will say New Year's resolutions or goal. I think I like setting goals.
Mhm.
I think goals for this podcast is that by the end of 2021 that we will be a household name.
Yeah, I think that's
Heard.
gonna be. Yeah, I think that's on the list.
We gonna
I
be
know.
where the money
I know we
reside,
will.
where the money reside. Where the money reside.
Hey.
That's my New Year resolution. Be where the money resides.
Period.
I am where the money resides.
That's
Period.
facts.
Facts.
I'm actually getting ready to do a bunch of stuff with Photo B because he is where the money
He
resides.
is where the money resides.
Let me get money with my brethren.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Facts,
saying?
facts.
We need more life more life, more power,
I
more
breathe
fire.
money.
All right, man. We out. We wish y'all prosperity, peace, and freedom in your lives.
And respect.
And respect.
Or photo B
Be
name.
undeniable and be fearless.
He ain't no
Yes.
Blairs. He
2021.
ain't no photo P's. He nothing. Photo B. Photo B.
BJ.
Yes.
All right. We out, y'all.
Let's go.